Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnicky, and as always I'm here with Matt Stewart and Jess Perkins.
Hello David, hello Matt.
Hello Jess and hello Dave.
Hello Jess and Jess's cat.
I don't have a cat.
Fuck.
My cat is dead. How dare you?
I always bring it up. I love to bring up people's dead pets.
Yeah, you're like, hey Jess, how's Archie, your bird that died when you were 17?
Dave the Pet Cemetery Warnicky. I finally got the nickname.
It makes sense now.
I just love to break the ice.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
do you want to break the ice on this show by explaining to new listeners how it all works?
Well, thank you, new listener, for tuning in to the show where we take it in turns to report on a topic often suggested to us by one of the show's listeners. We go away.
Sometimes it's by many of them
Yes.
because we have heaps.
If you're wondering,
If you're worried about us,
you're
like,
not the only one.
Yeah, we have. There's heaps of people listening right now.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
4, 5, 6.
Easily.
I don't even know. It could even be double figures.
Could be a million.
One of them's called Terry.
Definitely.
G'day, Terry.
Hey,
and
Terry.
We go away, we do a bit of research, bring it back to the group and Terry, and we always start with a question to get us onto topic. It's my turn to do reports. Jess and Matt, my question for you is, Abebe Bikila won the gold medal at the 1960 Olympics for what event?
High jump.
Abebe Bikila. What a fantastic name.
Incredible
Rhythmic
name.
gymnastics.
Right off the bat.
Okay, you were closer in the first instance.
So it's track and field.
It's athletics, yes.
Marathon.
It is the marathon, correct.
You fucking piece of shit.
I'm like, what would be noteworthy? Oh, this guy jumped. Who cares? This guy ran for
Wow.
ages. Now I'm listening.
Wow.
Ages. And he also did a bit of a jump
What?
into my heart.
Okay.
This topic was suggested by just one person, Sheikh,
Terry.
obviously Terry. Every topic is always suggested by Terry, but he actually asked us to stop shouting him out.
Sorry,
He's
Terry.
like,
Made me
please,
feel weird.
leave me alone. Trying to go about my life.
Yeah, I'm trying to drive my bus, and you keep saying my name, and I go, oh, is someone talking to me? Oh, no. It's just the podcast I love. So it's a big shout out to Sheikh Shrikantia from Denver, Colorado. And when you tell us why we should do the topic,
Yeah.
we can tell us why we do the topic. And there's a link on our website if you want to suggest a topic. Anyone can do that. And under the bit where you say, why should we do this topic, Sheikh has written, because Dave really wants to do it and his reports are great when he's passionate about the topic. And he's right. I've put this up for the vote about 4 times.
Oh, really?
But it's a personal choice at the moment. The Patreon supporters are voting for Jess and Matt's topics at the moment.
Oh, so this is one that no one wanted.
But I did. And hey,
And Sheikh said, all right, Dave,
Yeah.
I'll suggest it because he
I'll
obviously
indulge
wants
you.
to do it.
let's not forget Terry.
It's also clever from Sheikh. If you want to shout out, suggest a topic that you think Dave wants to do anyway.
Yeah. No,
That's
that's
right.
great. But I like it when those, because I've done a few topics that have ended up being killer reports. I mean, let's call them what they are. But it was one I chose. Because you're like, this is a cool story and I want to tell it.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
what this totally is. He's come second a few times, Abebe Bikila.
But probably not at the Olympics. Or did he?
No.
I have no idea.
He did not.
Oh, he could have come first, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
He might have been
seventh,
disqualified.
eighth. DNF.
Did not finish.
Also an option.
Yeah. And DNR.
What does that
These
mean?
are all...
Do
these-
not resuscitate.
Okay.
But he
Jeez.
really didn't finish.
Yeah. So who knows? These are all possibilities.
Wow.
These are all
It's
possibilities.
exciting, isn't it?
Let me tell you about Abebe Bikila and the 1960 Olympics.
Ooh.
Because I should say, for a while there, I was absolutely nerding out on the Olympics because one of our quiz show topics a few weeks ago at the Melbourne Comedy Festival was the Olympics.
Yeah.
And there's so many amazing stories of athletes, and like this is little tidbits of stuff that happened over 100. And
We've done quite a few Olympic
Yeah.
ones as well.
I love
Kathy
the Olympics.
Freeman.
I love it too.
The 2000 Olympics opening
Do you know
ceremony.
what's so funny is that because I'm playing like mixed basketball at the moment, and one of our players has been away for a couple of weeks, and we saw her last night. We're like, oh, where you been? She's like, oh, just in Sydney. And then we all just started talking about the Sydney Olympics and how good those Olympics were. And I was like, how good was the opening ceremony? She's like, oh, best in the world, best ever. And I was like, I've found my people.
It was amazing that they were waiting for someone to bring up Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually have a story about Sydney. They once hosted the Olympics.
Yeah, we know.
And
yeah,
they've done nothing since.
we're all a similar age, and we all remember it.
Put that tiny city on the map.
Yeah, finally.
I've been wanting to talk about Abebe for ages, so let's do it. Abebe Bikila was born on August 7th, 1932 in the town of Jato, about 130 kilometres away from the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. August 7, 1932 also happened to be the day of the Los Angeles Olympic Marathon.
Huh.
So he was born on the day of an Olympic marathon.
That's nice.
Wow.
Possibly a sign of his future greatness.
Was that written down in the resources you found, or were you just like, let's see what else happened on the day he was born?
I believe on Olympics.org they love
They
that
noted
fact.
that, yeah,
They
okay.
love that.
Dave, just for fun, can you say their name and where they're from just all together?
Abebe Bikila from Jato near the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa.
Addis Ababa. And what was his name again?
Abebe Bikila.
Abebe Bikila, who was from near... Say that again?
Addis Ababa.
None of it's going in, but I love it. Every time you say it, and then it just vanishes straight away.
Now,
He's going to say it a bit, I reckon,
Okay.
throughout this.
And there are many names on this episode that I will have an attempt at.
Oh, yes.
I will say, because the marathon has people from all over the world competing in it. I'm going to say a lot of athletes' names on this. Googled a few, having a stab at the others.
We're always doing our best. I think that's the thing to remember, and we're trying to do it as respectfully as we possibly can, and sometimes we butcher it.
Yes.
What a
And we're
beautiful
sorry.
name, though. Just one more time.
Abebe Bikila.
I love it.
love
Me
it.
too.
Abebe Bikila. Oof, that's good.
So good.
I'm going to have a go at his parents now. His mother was...
They're dogs.
What were they thinking? They should have encouraged him. He was clearly talented. No, his mother was Woodanesh Beneberu,
Okay.
and his father was Demisi, who was a shepherd.
Great.
Working with sheep and cattle.
Yeah, we know what shepherds do.
Yeah, they don't work with cattle.
Shepherd.
Just, it's,
It would be a coward if they worked
Yeah.
with cows.
which is what you do, Dave, I assume, based on your cowardice.
You're having a go at me
Could
now.
I get something for cowards?
That was fantastic.
That was very good.
Was that a pun, Dave?
Yeah, it's a pun.
That's a pun. I did a
Yes,
pun.
you did a pun.
Respect.
I've never been able to do puns. Not on purpose.
Coward.
Coward.
Like
That's funny.
shepherd.
Yeah, shepherd, shep, coward. Yeah, it's a bit of fun. Having fun with words.
Oh, that's something Dave didn't mention at the top. But that's a big part of this show.
We have fun with words.
Fun with words.
Just getting us to repeat the name of the topic many times. Sorry, who is this about again?
Abebe Bikila.
Well
oh
done.
my God, I love that name.
So just for some context which gives even more significance to this already significant story, we'll quickly talk about the history of Bikila's home nation of Ethiopia, which according to Britannica is one of the world's oldest countries, having existed for millennia. And sort of the boundaries have changed over time, but they've sort of had the idea of a country there for a long, long time. During the so-called scramble for Africa beginning in 1881, 7 Western European powers invaded, annexed and colonised most of Africa.
What a real shitty time.
Oh my God, so awful. And I mean nearly all of it. Ethiopia and Liberia were the only African countries to secure sovereignty from European colonial powers, with Ethiopia defeating Italy in the Battle of Adwa in 1896.
Wow.
So they fought for their freedom and won. They kicked Italy out.
Get out of
Fuck
here,
off,
Italy.
Italy. Yeah, get out of here, Italy.
Get out of here, Italy. Leave the pizza, though. That's delicious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, now goodbye.
Now goodbye.
Hooroo.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Arrivederci. Fuckos.
Arrivederci, fuckers.
This translating?
Yeah.
This all changed though when in 1935 Ethiopia was invaded and occupied by fascist Italy. So they came back, who merged it with similarly possessed Eritrea and Somaliland to become Italian East Africa.
Yep.
During the Second Italo-Ethiopian War, so they had a bit of fighting around this in 1935, which lasted till 1937. When he was just 3 years old, Abebe Bikila's family was forced to move to the remote town of Goro. The family eventually moved back to Jato, where they had a farm. In 1941, so he's only 3 years old at this time, but the family has to move. Italy has come and occupied their country. It's a pretty bad time. But in 1941, Ethiopia was liberated from Italy by the British Army and local resistance fighters.
Cool. This is a bit of a hot take. I reckon war is no good.
But is it good for anything? And if so, what?
Dave, absolutely nothing. But I think it's great that countries back then and now to some degree are like, I want a bit of that over there, so I'm just going to take
I'm
it.
going to take it. I'm going to walk in. I'm going to kick a door down. I'm going to say, gimme.
Mine now.
Gimme.
Nah, but it's ours. Nah. Beautiful time.
Beautiful time.
Hey?
Beautiful way that we go about our lives. Give me this. No. Go on. All right. Anyway, just a hot take there from me.
Just a hot take.
Not a fan of war myself.
And this whole Italian side of things may come back in the story later. So let's park that.
So he's brought that up for a reason. That's interesting.
Yeah, he got into Vespa riding.
World champion Vespa rider.
He's one of the best.
That's
one
how
of the
he
best
won the
we've ever
marathon. Vum vum.
I'm afraid it doesn't say anything in the rules about not using a Vespa. Fuck.
seen. He's got us. He's got us.
He's smart, this guy.
Yeah, they had to change the rules after that. Close that loophole. Wheels don't count as feet.
When he was a boy, Abebe played Gina, which is a traditional field hockey game popular in the Ethiopian highlands, where the goalposts are sometimes miles apart.
Oh, wow.
I reckon I could score a goal then. I could hit that target.
I reckon you could still miss.
Oh, I hit the post. Fuck.
I always think hitting the post should be worth double points.
Yeah.
It's harder to do.
It'd be really hard to do it on purpose, you know? So when it happens by accident, you're like, just give him some points.
Or they should go to the player and say, did you do that on purpose? Because if
Yeah.
you did, that'll be 10 points. But if you didn't, that's 1. Be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they'd say, it was an accident.
Hey, for your honesty, here's a bonus 9 points.
Do you remember the that famous scene in The Champions, or The Mighty Ducks, as it was also known?
Yeah.
When Gordon Bombay,
Yes.
the coach, played
Emilio
by
Estevez.
Emilio Estevez, was still bitter about his game where he hit the post. Am I remembering this right?
I don't know.
And he said, just a couple of inches to the right, and it would have been a goal. My whole life would be different. But then Charlie, played by the guy from Dawson's Creek,
Yes.
said,
Which one?
Joshua
James-
Jackson.
Joshua Jackson said, what happens if it went a couple of inches to the left? Then it would have missed altogether. And Gordon Bombay said, never thought about it like that. Isn't that beautiful?
Fucking hell.
My
Gordon
goodness.
Bombay, big shot guy,
Yeah.
rocks up in a limo.
Limo with a
and,
suit.
And he learned something from a
Learned something
12-year-old
this
boy.
kid, this neighbourhood boy.
Wow.
I like the cut of your jib, Pacey.
You're all right, kid.
You're all right.
Guess I never thought about that. Maybe, but also it's pretty funny to be like, I was a reasonably good hockey player as a child, and I missed a goal one time. And if I hadn't, my life would be completely
Everything would
different.
have been
It's
different.
like, you've turned up in a limo.
Yeah,
I
what?
think you're all right.
I don't remember that movie barely at all, but why is he complaining?
Did you, as an 11-year-old, put a lot of money on that game, and now some bad people are hunting? No, you're fine.
I mean, I'm going off a very vague memory. That's possibly not how it happened, but something like that, I reckon.
He was quite bitter about it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I can't believe I remembered his name, Gordon Bombay.
Yeah. Oh, you don't forget a name like Gordon Bombay.
It's a
You
great
kidding
name.
me?
Almost as good as the name of the guy we're talking about, which is Matt.
Don't.
Abebe
Abebe
Bikila.
Bikila.
Anyway, sorry, you're talking about Italy and the hockey game.
Oh yeah, he played the
yeah.
hockey in the Highlands at very high altitude. He's running long distances. Just for fun
because
as a child.
the sets of goalposts are far away from each other,
Yes.
not just far away from.
No, they are miles apart, and
his Vespa broke down.
Yeah.
he is the goalkeeper, so he's running from one side to the other. I've got to keep this ball out.
That sounds like a sick game.
Yeah,
Like a fully extreme Highlands game, right? Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying? It's up in the mountains?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow,
Pretty
amazing.
but honestly, there's not much info on his early life. But in 1952, at the age of 20, he moved to the capital of Addis Ababa and joined the 5th Infantry Regiment of the Imperial Guard, also called the Kiber Zabagna. These were the bodyguards who protected Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie I,
Okay.
who was Emperor of Ethiopia from 1930 to 1974.
That's a long reign.
So over 4 decades.
Yeah.
And a very integral person in the history of Ethiopia in the 20th century.
Cool.
So he reigned from when?
1930 to 1974.
Right, so he was there when Italy came in. So he was in exile for a little bit of that, or
Yeah, came in. They took over for a bit, and then he's back on when they're out. Yep. His full title in office was, by the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Elect of God.
Oh, beautiful name
Love
for a boy
it.
or a girl.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Pop that on a business card.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Fantastic.
nice.
What do you break it down? What does that read if you're doing an initialism or
Yeah.
Bickle ot oj hem hels kikok lol eog
I like the lol bit.
whatever? Yeah, that's
Lollyog.
pretty good.
Lord of Lords.
That's
Lol.
not a, what is that? That's not an initialism. What's that? You taught me this in
An
one of our
acronym.
early episodes. Acronym, that's it.
He's also a key figure in Rastafari, a religion that developed in Jamaica during the 1930s, with many followers regarding the emperor as the second coming of Jesus and Jah incarnate.
Wow.
And he didn't even follow the movement.
Really?
That's
We
not
don't follow when you are the
That's right, but-
reincarnate.
it's
Yeah,
not
you
even-
think Jesus
You lead.
considers himself a Christian?
Yeah.
I don't
He
know,
was a
probably.
Jew.
Actually, it's the same thing here. He's important to the religion because Jamaican political activist and orator Marcus Garvey had made a prophecy. He said, "Look to Africa, where a black king shall be crowned. He shall be the Redeemer."
Oh.
And this was swiftly followed by the ascension of Haile Selassie as Emperor of Ethiopia. So many people in Jamaica thought he was the second coming.
Wow.
That makes sense.
That's cool.
Yeah, and this is a quote from a great Rastafari website I found. I think it's pronounced wikipedia.org,
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
which must be a Jamaican word, but I don't know it. But he's seen as a god by many in Jamaica, and when he visited the country of Jamaica in 1966, this is what happened.
Quick fact. 66. That's the year that the Chicago Bulls entered the NBA.
Wow.
Yeah. And the Saints won their one and only premiership in the VFL.
Got it in. And Haile Selassie visited Jamaica.
Yes.
Approximately 100,000 Rastafari from all over Jamaica descended on the airport in Kingston to greet him. Spliffs and chalices were openly smoked, causing a, quote, haze of ganja smoke to drift through the air.
Okay.
What's a chalice?
I'm not sure. Is it the thing that a priest rocks around in
Oh.
on the chain?
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
I wish
Seems
I didn't
weird.
ask
It
that.
seems weird to put that in the same sentence as spliffs.
Yeah, I thought, because a chalice is like a cup as well.
Yeah.
But they're smoking them.
You don't smoke a cup.
Unless it's like, like one of those cocktails that you light on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Like a chalice of Sambuca.
Oh,
Nothing better.
Bit of hot Sambuca.
firm disagree. There's a lot of things better. Almost anything.
As with many leaders who are in power for decades and develop a cult of personality around them, he has been criticised by human rights groups for suppressing his people.
Okay.
So, loved by some, not loved by others.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, our man Abebe Bikila was in the Imperial Guard protecting the Emperor, and he would run 20 kilometres or 12 miles from the hills of Sululta to Addis Ababa and back every day, just to go to work.
So 40 Ks a day he's running.
Yep.
Fuck me.
Yeah, so he'd be like marathon.
Marathon.
Where are we running to? Work or?
Where's the challenge?
Are we going to do eight and a half hours in between, or?
So I'll I'll do the marathon and then, what do you want me to do then? I'll be ready to do a solid 8 to 9 hours.
Yeah.
And then another marathon?
Okay.
No, that's it. Just one marathon.
Oh.
Okay.
Just one marathon?
Feels a bit pointless, but
That feels so boring.
How do you
I guess it would
how do
be
you get home from the marathon?
like, so he's doing a half marathon to work, half marathon back, essentially, give or take a couple of kilometres. So it would be like if he's run to work, forgotten something, popped home to grab it,
Come back in.
come back in. That's crazy.
That's nothing. And
It's
here's
not crazy. I know people can run long distance. I'm just not one of them. I'm not built for it.
It's impressive.
It's amazing.
I'm impressed.
Good.
And
And
I'm
if-
not easily
Yeah.
impressed.
If Matt's impressed, boy howdy,
Yeah.
you've said something pretty cool.
Got your attention? So he's running to work every day, and his endurance was noticed by Oni Niskanen, a Swedish coach employed by the Ethiopian government to train the Imperial Guard.
Wow, what an interesting job.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Niskanen started training Bikila for the marathon. He identified him and said, I reckon that you'd be great for this event. When Abebe was 24. So he only started training as a runner at the age of 24.
That's old.
Yeah.
for Olympians.
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
yeah, you're ancient.
A lot of people are retiring by that age.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like gymnasts at that age. It's like, oh my God, congrats on your 10th Olympics or something.
So it's also fun to think like he's just taking it up.
Yeah.
Even though he's been running a marathon every day.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try this thing that I already do.
Yeah.
But now you're going to start a stopwatch.
It's like if somebody was like, I'm gonna train you up to talking to a microphone, and we'd be like, I guess, I'm
Okay.
sure, I
Okay.
guess.
If you think I could.
Yeah, I'll try.
I mean, my technique is awful.
That same year in 1956, he entered his first marathon event, the Ethiopian Armed Forces Championship, where he finished second to Wami Baratu.
It's first ever marathon.
Came second.
That's pretty great.
Pretty good.
1956. Huh. See, my dad was born.
It was the year of the Melbourne Olympics.
Yes. That's true.
And also the year that TV came to Australia.
That's true too, because of the Olympics.
Ah, that makes sense. Not
Yeah.
a coincidence.
Pretty sure that was why, yeah.
And after this, he did a couple more marathons, but not all the time. He didn't go pro, didn't go full time.
Okay. He's still got his day job.
That's right, which he obviously runs to, but so he is kind of training. But in July 1960, this is 4 years later, Abebe won his first marathon in the capital of Addis Ababa. A month later, he won again in the capital with a time of 2 hours, 21 minutes, 23 seconds, which was faster than the existing Olympic record held by Emil Zatopek, another incredible runner. I did a mini report on for our Olympic special way back in episode 41.
Episode 41, and I remember that. I mean, you don't forget a name like Emil Zatopek, I suppose, but like...
You don't remember anything,
I
though.
know. I was like, oh yeah, Emil Zatopek.
So he's the guy that trained like in boots out in the snow and all sorts of things.
Yes.
And-
Why did we did that episode leading up to one of the Olympics? I guess the one that was...
Yeah, with the Rio Games.
I guess so.
And he's also the one that he won the 5,000 metres and then the 10,000 metres and then on a whim decided to enter the marathon.
That's right.
His
Amazing.
first ever marathon and won.
That's
and set this Olympic record. But now Abebe is faster than... It's not world record time, but he's faster than the Olympic record. And he...
A baby is faster than the Olympic record.
Abebe.
And it's a pretty small event on the world scale. You know, it's just in the Ethiopian capital with local people running. And now he's faster than the Olympic record.
Yeah, wow.
His coach, Niskanen, entered Abebe Bikila and Abebe Wakira, which is another Ethiopian man, in the marathon at the 1960 Rome Olympics that would be run on September 10th.
Wow. It's a great way to travel, isn't it?
Running.
It's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
You go anywhere.
You don't have to tap on your Mikey. And
Incidental
bloody great.
exercise?
yeah.
Fantastic.
Bloody great. So
You mean being an Olympian?
Yeah.
You just see the world every 4 years?
Every 4 years you'd go somewhere. Might not be your first choice of places to visit. And sure, you don't get to do anything touristy.
And
but,
for
you
most
know,
people, as we've already discussed, their career is over pretty quickly.
yeah, but you rack up some frequent flyer miles in that time, don't you?
That's why you're smart to do one of those sports you can do as an old person, like the horse riding. You know, that Australian guy has just done it since before we were born.
Or like shooting.
Yeah.
You know, as long as your eyes don't go. Or you get some decent specs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
All right.
so what should we get into?
Horse
And we could
shooting.
be in the Masters.
they're massive.
Yeah. I can
Easy.
hit that target.
Do you reckon? Bit of practice, you'll be right.
Don't let it move.
Can you hold that horse still?
Hold your horses. That's where that saying comes
Hold your horses.
Ah,
Bang.
For shooting. Okay.
So let's talk about the Rome Olympics held from August 25th to September 11, 1960.
Beautiful time to be in Rome.
from. September 11, Jess. Oh, my God.
1960.
Oh, okay.
It was just a date then.
Yeah, the final day of
And
the...
end of August, early September, beautiful time to be in Europe.
Good
be a
weather.
gorgeous time to be in Rome.
Yeah, autumn.
Sunny,
Beautiful.
gorgeous.
Love
Not too
the
hot.
autumn.
Oh,
Fantastic.
heaven.
This was the first time the Italian capital hosted the Games. They'd actually been awarded the 1908 Summer Olympics, but following the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 1906, they had no choice to decline and to pass the honour on to London.
Ah, wow. I think I had Mount Vesuvius as like way...
The big eruption is hundreds of years earlier.
This is another eruption.
Yep. But it did damage, and they actually had to spend a lot of the country's treasury on fixing up the country.
Yeah.
And they went, we can't afford to build all these stadiums. We've got to help our people.
Yeah.
So London had to take over.
We kind of have to build some houses and buildings and other stuff that got ruined. Probably more important at the end of the day, you know.
But it is the Olympics.
You'll get Rome. You'll get the Olympics again, and they did.
They did. But
They obviously sorted that out, and then were like, all right, now we've sorted out our country. Let's go take over Africa. What a beautiful mindset.
Beautiful mindset.
more than 5,000 athletes from 83 nations competed in Rome, with 44 nations winning medals.
Huh.
For the second successive games, the Soviet Union topped the medal table with 43 golds won. Its fierce rival, the United States, was second on the table, with Australia finishing 5th with 8 gold medals.
Not
Isn't
bad.
that wild? Hey?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know why the Australia... I mean, I do know why it is, because we're sport obsessed and put too much money into it. But where Australia has often done, you know, for a small population...
Yeah, that's true.
Does well.
We are a very small population compared to so many other countries that are much smaller than us in land size. We're very spread out. Anyway, but yeah, you're right. We're sports mad.
Yeah.
We love it.
Italy really got around the games and they built a brand new Olympic stadium that could hold 100,000 people, but also converted magnificent ancient buildings for other competitions.
I was going to say, why build a new stadium when you've got the Colosseum?
Yeah. Just chuck some, retractable roof on the top.
Yeah, put some seats in.
Fantastic.
Couple of
Clean up a bit of that rubble. Bit
drop-in
dusty in
pitch.
there.
couple of beer taps.
Come on.
There you go.
Yeah, a few corporate boxes.
Oh, okay. You think the people who originally built the Colosseum were like, oh, I hope one day this isn't getting used?
Yeah.
Come on.
Use it or lose it.
Use it.
What a waste of a resource.
Yeah, come on. You got a beautiful resource.
Gymnastics and wrestling were held in the Basilica of Maxentius, which had staged the same events 2,000 years earlier.
That's
That's
what I'm
sick.
talking about.
Fantastic.
That's cool.
Come on. You're
Come
Rome.
on. You got basilicas coming out your fucking
wazoo.
wazoo. What's basilica? I've heard that word before.
The Pope, are they going to use the Vatican? Surely we could turn that into some sort of pool.
Yeah.
Fill it up.
Come on.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of ruins around. Knock them down, put in a pool.
Imagine a 50-metre Olympic-sized pool full of holy water.
Oh my God, baptisms en masse.
Yeah.
Everybody jump in, baptized.
Thorpe, I didn't know you were Christian. I'm not Christian. You are now.
Gotcha.
Gotcha, Thorpe.
And that's how we get more Christians.
That's how we get them.
That's how we get them. Catholics, we need more of them. More and more. I say that as a a baptized Catholic, agnostic. Anyway.
Agnostic, like that.
Yeah.
That means you...
That means I don't really care.
But it means you're open.
I guess so, yeah. But it also means I don't care.
Ah.
You know, I'm kind of like, you believe whatever you want to believe.
Something's out there, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not an atheist where I'm like, you're an idiot for thinking... I don't think atheists are all like, you're an idiot for believing anything. But I'm not like, there is no God, you fool. I'm just like, nah, whatever. Who knows? I'll find out when I'm dead. Won't I? Or I won't find out because there's nothing. It's exciting.
Yeah. And the system will be, you die and they go... Yeah, you've got nothing. It's all over. Anyway, you're dead for real now. So they do, which is nice.
Yeah, just so that I die knowing.
Yeah, because it'd be cruel to die without knowing that there's nothing after death.
Yeah.
And that's what God thinks. God's like, I gotta let him know that there's nothing.
Gotta let him know. I don't exist.
I don't exist. Just letting you know, I don't exist.
Hey, it's me, God. I don't exist, and good night forever.
All right.
Or is God's like, all right, I do exist, but there's no afterlife. I blew the budget on this planet.
I blew the budget on the life.
What do you expect after this?
You want an afterlife?
Yeah.
And you want it to be better than this?
Do you guys
This took
see?
ages.
Do you guys see those sexy magpies in Dublin?
Oh.
You think
my
that
God.
doesn't cost a bit of
Oh my
cash?
God, that took me 2 centuries.
But yeah, okay. You want an afterlife? You saw that bird? Come on.
You should have seen the early versions. They're like 4-bit. Very blurry.
Hey, blurred. The
It took
blue just
ages
didn't have
to
the right kind of
get those
je
realistic
ne sais quoi about it.
feathers. Got Pixar involved. And yeah, they look lifelike.
Yeah, incredible. Anyway, weird tangent. Sorry about that.
The 1960 Olympics were the first to be fully covered by television, and this transformed the games into a truly worldwide phenomenon.
Dun, 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 dun.
phenomenon.
Taped footage of the games was flown to New York. So they didn't have satellites at the time. So taped footage of the games was flown to New York City at the end of each day and broadcast on CBS television in the United States. Eurovision provided live television broadcasts throughout Europe. So it was seen by millions, and it was a massive, massive Olympics. These are some of the highlights. In boxing, the light heavyweight division's gold medal went to an 18-year-old, then unknown Cassius Clay.
Ooh.
For many, this was, of course, a glimpse into the greatness of a man that would later be called the greatest, Muhammad Ali.
Cool. The light heavyweight. I like the rules in boxing.
Yeah.
Easy to follow.
Heavy, but not that heavy.
Yeah. For a heavyweight, you're pretty light.
He's gone from I think Cassius Clay is a great name, and he's just upgraded somehow.
Yeah.
You're changing your name from Cassius Clay?
What could possibly top it?
Muhammad Ali?
Okay.
Fucking hell, mate. Fucking hell.
Fucking
Save some for the rest of us.
I like the idea of Muhammad Ali coming to you to like run this by someone.
Doing a bit of spitballing. All right,
Yeah.
these are on the short
What do you
list.
reckon? Be honest. Cassius, you're changing your name. You're crazy.
Phil Smith, next.
No.
Tracy Pecker. Well, that's a little bit
Peck
better.
is good. Peck is
Something
good.
there.
Muhammad Ali.
Oh,
my.
my God.
Fucking hell.
Tracy Pecker, fuck off. So he won the gold medal, which is very, very cool.
Very
American
cool.
swimmer Jeff Farrell won 2 gold medals in swimming. He underwent an emergency appendectomy 6 days before the Olympic
And
trials.
then won 2 gold medals.
Yeah.
What's an
Bloody hell.
appendectomy?
Taking out your appendix.
Yep.
It's a penis enlargement.
It's a penis enlargement surgery. So actually, he had more drag
A
in the
rudder.
water, and he still won.
And
Help,
the doctor
help with
went,
steering.
the head of the team went, "Are you sure you couldn't get this dick surgery after?" He's like, "He's only got availability 6 days
Yeah.
before the game."
You
Sorry.
know what surgeons are like? You got to book in months
Sorry
in
about
advance.
this. American swimmer Chris von Salzer.
Oh.
Incredible.
Yes.
Won 4 medals in women's swimming, 3 of them gold.
Very good. Well done, Chris von Seltzer.
Don't even bother mentioning the other one. And you didn't.
Who cares?
But it wasn't gold.
Who cares?
May as well be a piece of shit. then.
Yeah. Oh, you got some gold and some piece of shit.
It was a medal made out of shit.
Yeah. Silver, first loser. Get out of my face.
Sticking with the Americans, the US basketball team took its 5th consecutive gold medal. The squad, which starred future Hall of Famers Oscar Robertson, Jerry Lucas, Walt Bellamy, and Jerry West, whose silhouette is still the NBA logo.
Jerry West.
So funny that I was talking to you off
cool.
just before we started about a guy who's in Winning Time has been characterized as this angry man. He's like, that's not me at all. That was Jerry West.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Really? And
Yeah.
So he's sometimes known as Mr. Silhouette, I believe, because he's the silhouette on
That's
the NBA
cool.
logo. His other nicknames include Mr. Clutch,
Okay.
which I love, and also Zeke from Cabin Creek,
Okay.
for the creek near his birthplace in Cheyenne, West Virginia.
Zeke could not be further from Jerry West, though, could it?
I just thought that was the best nickname.
Zeke from Cabin Creek. It's long for a nickname.
Well, it's kind of like the Larry Bird one and came later. What was his? The Hick from St. Lick or something like that?
Yeah.
So good.
His portrayal in this show is also pretty funny. Like just real...
Helping himself to other people's eskies.
Right.
Like that?
As we talked about in the Michael Jordan episode. Yeah, no, it's just he's very grumpy and glum and yeah.
That's not the Larry Bird I know.
But now that I know that Jerry West is like, that's not who I am at all, I'm like, can I believe any of this?
Yeah.
It also had a brief episode about, this is a HBO show for people who don't know, about the Lakers in the 70s and 80s. But they did an episode, like the start of one of the episodes was a flashback to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar changing his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Talking of great name changes.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even remember what his original name was, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Was it Tracy Pecker?
Yes. He changed his name from Tracy Pecker.
A good choice, I think.
Oh, do you want me to... Sorry, you're looking at me like that.
No, we thought you were mid-sentence.
Sorry, I thought you were mid-story, but...
I mean, his name's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What else do you need? I think
I don't know.
that's maybe my favourite all-time name.
It's an amazing name.
I know people will be yelling at their iPods if I don't say that he was born Ferdinand Louis Alcindor Jr., which is also pretty good.
Far out.
Ferdinand,
That
a
is good.
very strong first
Ferdinand,
name.
Yeah.
Very
But
strong.
he's like, it would have been the same story. Hey, Ferdinand, what's up? Just upgrading my name.
What are you
can't
talking
upgrade
about?
from Ferdinand Louis Alcindor Jr. Well, let me lay Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on you. Fucking hell!
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell, mate! Oh, fucking hell! Kareem fucking... Holy fuck, I'm sweating! Had a brain orgasm. Oh, in my pants. I jizzed everywhere. Fucking hell.
Fucking
Fucking
hell.
hell. Fuck. So the US basketball team won with Oscar Robertson and Zeke from Cabin Creek. At the time, this was considered by many to be the best basketball team ever assembled.
Oh, wow.
That was before the Monstars were put together.
Hard to beat. Possible.
What a reference.
According to Britannica, the decathlon featured a tightly contested battle between Rafa Johnson of the United States and Yang Chuang Kwang of Taiwan. Close friends who had both attended the University of California at Los Angeles and trained under the same coach. Rafa Johnson later became an actor. He won.
Oh, wow.
Which is cool. He was in the James Bond movie License to Kill.
Wow.
Amazing. Jeez, there has not been a dud name in this whole
No,
thing. Even
incredible.
Jerry West is
I
fantastic.
think we've just gotten shit at names.
Yeah.
Names suck
Have
now.
we run out?
We must have.
Jeez, I've got the most boring name.
Yeah, you do.
But I'm feeling inspired.
Yeah.
I can just change my name.
What are you going to make it?
Muhammad Kareem
Oh,
Jabbar?
fucking hell.
Just combine two great names.
That's good.
Somehow I've combined two great
don't-
names and made it worse.
You're really more of a vanilla name. Like Matt.
Yeah, I guess you got to pull it
A
off as
boring beige name.
Well, we're going to bring
well.
things
Fucking hell.
Bring things back home now. There's an Australian name. Australia's own Herb Elliott.
Oh, yeah. It's a
Love
good name.
Herb.
It's a good name. Good name. Won the men's 1500 metre sprint in one of the most dominating performances in Olympic history. He won by 2.6 seconds, which meant he was over 20 metres ahead as he crossed the line
Ooh, Herb.
and broke the world record.
Wow.
20 metres.
2.6 seconds. That is so long. That's crazy.
So long. Also for Australia, Dawn Fraser won her second gold medal for the 100 metre freestyle.
How Dawn?
How Dawn. And Murray Rose, a name that you sometimes mention, Matt, when you're trying to think of someone else. It went back to back in the 400 metre freestyle.
Ah, awesome. Yeah, I get him and Lionel Rose confused. Another great Aussie sports person.
Britain's Don Thompson had prepared for the 50 kilometres walk by exercising in his bathroom in Kent, filled with heaters and boiling kettles.
Oh, that's amazing.
It paid-
Electricity bill through the roof.
Well, it paid off when he won the gold medal.
Wow.
So, but it's a 50k walk. I'm assuming he's also doing some walking training.
He's probably just on the spot because obviously Rome is a lot hotter than Kent.
Yeah.
So he wants to have the endurance for when he's getting hot and sweaty. So he's just walking on the spot with kettles and boilers going.
Oh my
That's
God.
so good. What was his name again?
Don Thompson.
'Cause that feels like it shouldn't be good, but that's a great name
That's
as
a
well.
good name.
Don Thompson.
You don't get that many Dons anymore.
No.
But I'm not naming a little boy Don.
Don.
Come on, Don. Pop your shoes on.
Come on, Donny.
Donny.
Yeah, Donnie's not as
Nah,
good.
that sucks.
I like Don, but I don't like Donnie.
Donnie.
Don't really like Donald.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to think of what Don is short for. Donald. No, I don't like it.
But Don.
Don.
But it's depends the surname Don Thompson.
Yeah.
It's like
that's
Don
good.
Johnson was he? An actor or something? That's another good name.
You just like the on.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
What about the name On? Pretty good.
Do I keep Stewart?
On Stewart.
No, it doesn't work.
What
On Thompson.
There it is.
What about on Thompson?
Don On.
Don on Thompson.
I love it.
I think I like it.
And is it all one word or is your middle name On?
I was thinking my middle name was on.
Don
On
on
Thompson.
Thompson.
But then there's no guarantee people would say it. So maybe I've got to just bring it up to the front. Don on. First name Don on.
Why don't you bring it right up to the front and say On Don Thompson?
On Don Thompson. What about Don Thompson?
Don Thompson.
On Thompson.
Oh, yeah. On Thompson. Yeah.
What
Jeez,
do you-
there's options
I
here.
really feel like that T8 is in the wrong. Don Thompson.
Oh, Don Thompson. Oh, yeah.
Don Thompson.
What about Don Thompson?
Don. So your first name is Don.
Yeah.
Middle name Don.
Yes.
Surname Don Thompson.
Yeah, Don
Thompson.
Thompson.
I love it.
I love it.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm going to make a few calls.
Fucking hell. That's all I can say.
Deed poll? Yeah.
For sure. Straight in.
It's the man who used to identify as Matt Stewart. Now, Don Thompson.
Don Thompson.
Don Thompson.
Huh?
Did I stutter?
We think you might have.
We're not sure. Did you?
Are you okay if I just read that back to you, Mr. Don Thompson?
I'd love you to.
That's like creating a new password and there's not that thing where you have to type it out again to make sure you've got the right thing.
Yeah.
First time I got it right. All right.
Don't make me repeat it.
Now let me log in. What the fuck? Not every highlight of the 1960 games was a victory.
Oh.
Finnish.
How can you have a highlight of a failure?
Well, let me tell you about Finland's Villo Julonen, a field shooter who shot a bullseye on the wrong target.
Oh, wow.
And in doing so, dropped from second to fourth.
Oh, that's not
Missed out on the
fair.
middle. Aiming for a target in front, accidentally shot the bullseye of the one next door.
Were they aiming for the wrong one? Or
No.
was it just a weird fluke?
Just a bad shot.
Wow.
A bad good shot.
Yeah.
It was a fluke, wasn't it?
It was a fluke.
Yeah, that it was a bullseye.
So people applauded and then went, oh, actually,
And so he dropped from second to
for
fourth.
Mr. Medal.
And he Gordon Bombayed it later. If I was only one target bullseye across, my whole life would have been different.
But if you one target to the left, it would have been even more impressive.
Yeah.
You're 2 targets off.
Never thought about that. And the games wasn't without its controversies. According to Thought Co., unfortunately, there was a ruling problem on the 100-metre freestyle swim for the men's event. John Devitt, who was from Australia, and Lance Larson,
Oh, my God.
right,
Very good.
from the United States, had been neck and neck during the last segment of the race. Though they both finished at about the same time, most of the audience, the sports reporters, and the swimmers themselves believed Larson from the United States had won. However, the 3 judges ruled that Devitt from Australia had won. Even though official times show a faster time for Larson than for Devitt,
What?
the ruling held.
What?
That's so weird.
No.
So including the guy who technically won, he's like, oh, I didn't win.
He touched
And they're
before
like,
me.
Sorry, you win, but I'm second. Well,
Well, the Olympics is all about great sportsmanship, which you're showing, so let's upgrade him to gold.
Wow,
beautiful.
that's very odd.
The gold
Yeah,
medal for
very
honesty.
That would really take away some of the excitement of winning gold, wouldn't it? Where you're like, I didn't win this, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to say I didn't win it.
And there's minutes of deliberation.
Yeah, and you're like, Larson, congratulations, man.
how do they get to it unanimously when everyone else disagreed?
And then, I don't know, he gets up and he's like, Moonlight, you won Best Picture.
And the official time?
Yeah,
Surely you'd go off that.
You'd go off the time, you would think.
The ruling held.
It's like you have judges for ones that are, up for debate. It's like, oh, who did the fanciest dive? That's why you have judges, not for who touched the wall first.
Yeah, fanciest dive.
Yeah.
Who touched the wall best?
Yeah, that's right. Not
does-
first, best.
Graceful.
Who touched the wall with a bit of flair?
Yeah, a
Who
bit of
made-
panache.
Who made the wall feel something?
Yeah. Who made us feel something in the way that they touched the wall?
Oh, definitely Larson.
Yeah.
Well, I have to stop down and mention Wilma Rudolph, an American runner with an incredible story. Born in St. Bethlehem, Tennessee in 1940, she was the 20th of 22 children
Nope.
from her father, Ed Rudolph's 2 marriages.
That's so many children.
I mean, does a question come to mind?
Oh, do they know what's causing it? But also, Ed. Fucking hell, man.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
20 of
mate.
22.
How much sex do you actually need? Do you know what I mean?
22 is too many
22 times.
Save some for the rest of us.
You've had sex 22 times.
Must be knackered.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. How do you get anything done?
Rudolph, so Wilma Rudolph, the 20th child, suffered from several early childhood illnesses, including pneumonia and scarlet fever, and she contracted infantile paralysis caused by the polio virus at the age of 5.
Wow.
She recovered from polio but lost strength in her left leg and foot. Physically disabled for much of her early life and told by a doctor that she would never walk again, Rudolph wore a leg brace until she was 12 years old. She also could not walk without an orthopedic shoe until she was 11, but she was determined to compete and began playing basketball. She later became a high school all-star, being nominated as an All-American in basketball during high school.
Wow.
So she wants to compete. One day, apparently, her mum came out into the backyard and found her playing basketball and was like, how are you doing this?
Wow.
And then she was just super determined. She then turned to track and field events and began running. And at the age of 16, remember, this is only 4 years after taking off the leg brace, still in high school, she competed in the 1956 Olympic Games and won a bronze medal in the 4x100 relay.
Wow. It's a real Forrest Gump kind of thing, isn't it? Just taking off the leg brace. It was holding her back.
You're right.
Well, who knows? I mean, like, this is also in a time where their medical knowledge wasn't as it is now. So it's very interesting to be like, she had these disabilities, but then was able to run
faster than most
and
people
compete
in the country.
That's amazing.
And she improved on that even. At the next Olympics, which is, of course, Rome 1960, she had her eyes set on gold and she did not go home disappointed.
Ooh.
She won 3 gold medals and broke 3 world records in the 100 metres, 200 metres and 4x100 metres, where she ran the all-important anchor leg of the race.
Wow.
Is the anchor leg the last leg?
Yeah, when you bring it home.
Yeah.
You hand it to Usain Bolt and
Usain
say,
Bolt is
please,
the anchor.
please catch up for the rest of it.
It's such an interesting thing that it's like, if you're all running as fast as you can, it shouldn't matter which order it is, but it does.
It does.
matter.
Yeah.
It's psychological and there's other things at play as well. But yeah, it's really interesting.
So it should just average out over your 4 best times.
I
yeah.
would always run second or fourth. Always on the straights.
Anchor.
Yeah.
Anchor
Actually,
Perkins.
that's true. Where you're starting on the track, probably.
Oh yeah, some would be better at running on a bend than others or something?
Yeah.
Or you have your fastest on the straight or something? There'd be a logic to this.
Yeah, there definitely is.
Because Usain Bolt can achieve a higher speed than anyone else.
So if there is, like, if the other teams have gotten a bit ahead, you've got your strongest runner at the end as the one who's most probable to shorten that distance or take over.
Because Usain Bolt is so good, he has to know how good he has to be. Do you know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
He's not going to go flat out first because he might not need to do that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if he's fourth, he assesses the situation and goes, all right, 20 metres behind, no worries. I'll go at 90%.
Yeah, I'll just go for a light jog,
Yeah, that's right.
a few steps, done.
Incredible. Rudolph became the first American woman to win 3 Olympic gold medals in track and field at the same Olympics. Her performance also earned her the title of the fastest woman in the world.
That's amazing.
She became a superstar in the USA, and her Olympic success, quote, gave a tremendous boost to women's track in the United States. She was one of the first role models for black and female athletes and is regarded as a civil rights and women's rights pioneer. She retired from competition in 1961 and became an educator and coach and established the Wilma Rudolph Foundation, a non-profit organisation based in Indianapolis that trained youth athletes.
Wow.
So yeah, I came across that. I just had to share that. Told you would never walk again, and then within 4 years,
Amazing.
you were one of the
Yeah.
fastest people, and then the fastest woman in the world. Incredible.
Yeah, a lot of people, me included, I'd say, would be like, all right, I'll take the doctor's word for it.
Well, yeah,
And
I think that's what I was sort of getting at before. I wasn't being like, I didn't mean to be sort of pandering or patronising to somebody who was told they had disabilities. What I'm thinking was like, was her injuries or her illnesses mismanaged, or the fact that she could take off the leg brace and a few years later was competing in the Olympics is wild.
yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Super amazing.
As a medical person, I'll field this one. Yeah, you wonder, did the leg brace work so well?
Yeah, I guess that's absolutely an option too, isn't it? It's really fascinating and so cool that she was just so determined.
Yeah.
So
I
cool.
just don't I admire that in other people because I just don't have that killer instinct in me. I just don't care enough to try all that hard. You know?
And to prove everyone wrong.
Yeah, nah. I'm like, you're probably right.
I'm also like, yeah, it's really hard not to just be like, yeah, you're right. I should stop doing this.
All right, I guess I will never walk again. Thank you, doctor. Yeah, amazing. What a cool story. What a cool person.
So amazing. And we'll be back with more Olympics after these messages. So a lot happened at the 1960 Olympics. For many, though, there is no more enduring story than that of Abebe Bikila. He's the guy we're talking about way back at the start of the episode. Bit of a detour there, but it just blew. Every Olympics is basically like that. There's all these amazing things. Yeah. But this one was especially famous because it produced lots of superstars because it was on TV for the first time. People around the world were able to connect with so many different athletes. So Bikila turned up at the event, and despite his recent great time, remember, he'd broken the Olympic record. Yeah. He was certainly not a favourite. 69 participants from 35 nations competed, and Bikila really flew under the radar.
How many participants, sorry?
Amount.
Yeah, how many were there?
69.
Nice.
In fact, some doubted that this unknown from Ethiopia could have possibly recorded a faster time than the great Emil Zatopek. They'd never heard of him. Some thought that he was bluffing. He'd made up the time.
I love the idea of, I've never heard of you.
You mustn't be real.
How do you first hear of people?
Yeah.
Normally it's after having never heard of them.
Yeah, usually. At some point in your life, you'd never heard of Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Now you can't remember a time where you didn't know who Brad Pitt was.
And how many gold medals has he won?
Probably a couple. I don't know that much about him.
What a guy.
Unfortunately, because he is so good looking, he doesn't often win awards like gold medals because people don't see his talent. Yeah. They think he's just beautiful. But they don't realise he's also a great runner.
An amazing runner.
Yeah.
He's so quick, but also graceful. That's the thing. It's not just about the speed. A lot of people just focus on speed of running. Yeah. They're like, who crosses the finish line first? Whatever. Who makes me feel something in the way that they run? Who tells me a story in the way that they run? Brad Pitt. That's right.
There really should be a medal for hottest runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd give it a Brad Pitt.
Every time.
Every time.
Yeah, he'd Unless be unbeatable. Shervo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Shervo's taking it out over Brad Pitt.
Yeah. He runs with a certain grace. And he also had one of those Adam-dectomies to his dick. A week of competing.
Adam-dectomies.
Oh, this is Australia's Matt Shervington. If you haven't seen him run, do yourself a favour.
Adam dick to me, I think is that what they call it? Add some dick to me. That's the... dick augmentation.
Add some dick to me.
Wait, does augmentation make it bigger or smaller?
Just augments it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's right there in the name, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a
bit of a silly question on your part there.
That's the thing.
It's all right if you feel like a fool.
And I do.
So Bikila's flying under the radar, or running under the radar. Returning runners from the 1956 marathons, the previous Olympic event, included gold medalist Alain Moumon from France, silver medalist Franjo Mahalik from Yugoslavia, and the fourth place finisher Lee Chang-hoon of South Korea.
Every single name has been great.
Incredible.
So Alain Moumon, he's the returning champion.
Yeah.
You think that people think he might do it again.
You're like, well, he's won it before. He's proven to us he's capable of this.
And I have to mention his first child was a daughter named Olymp. Born one day before her father won the 1956 Olympic marathon in Melbourne. Isn't that cool? Olymp. It's one of those things I imagine in France. It sounds beautiful.
It's a bit, though, like getting the a tattoo saying you're an Olympic champion or something before you've won. Yeah. Like naming your daughter Olymp before you've won something.
Brian Lara, the cricketer, West Indian cricketer, had named his kid Sydney after making a big double 100 at the SCG. I think that's beautiful.
How do you feel about naming your children after career milestones you've had? That's like, I don't know if it's putting pressure on them or making their name a bit about you. But I guess what is everyone's named after family and shit. That's
apparently, I think Brian Lara tells this story as a with a bit of a joke. At like, I don't know if Brian Lara's doing Sportsman's Nights, but whatever. But apparently he goes, just glad I didn't make those runs in Lahore.
Oh.
Brian.
Oh, my God. And Sydney's watching that going, fucking hell, Dad.
Dad, come on.
Shut up.
Of course, he would have been bound to use any name of a place where he made double century.
That's exactly it, yeah. That was the agreement he and his wife had. Sorry, honey. I know you wanted to name her after your grandmother, but
But I did a couple of runs.
A couple of runs. So I think that matters. A limp. A limp's a nice name, I guess.
It does
it's
sound like a
Olympe.
limp as well. Like,
A limp.
yeah.
Yes, but in French it would have been. In France,
It would sound beautiful in French.
Olympe.
Beautiful.
So there's a hot field of returning runners, but Sergei Pop, another great name, from the Soviet Union was seen as the favourite as he was the world record holder, having run the marathon in 2 hours, 15 minutes and 17 seconds.
And that's fast.
That's
That's
very
like
fast.
the fastest that anyone's ever done it, which is fast.
Pretty fast.
Pretty quick.
Quite quick.
I assume I could do quicker, but this was a while ago.
I've definitely done things that have taken me less than 2 hours, 15 minutes. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I've done things faster than that.
I could run to work quicker than that,
Do you reckon?
depending on where I was working, I suppose.
Down the road.
Yeah.
From
Easy.
home.
I've brushed my teeth quicker than that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's quick.
I've watched a movie that went for 2 hours.
Not many modern movies, tell you that. Jeez, they go for a while these days. Bring back the 90-minute flick.
So the race took place on Saturday, September 10th, and fearing that the burning sun might lead to severe dehydration problems for the athletes, organisers scheduled the marathon to be run mostly at night.
Oh, no.
To guide the runners, the city had to be lit up by torches. Pretty cool.
Let's put in some fucking floodlights. What
like
are you doing?
dolphin torches or like flaming torches.
Flaming torches.
Flashlights? Flaming torches.
Flaming
I don't want
torches.
to run to torchlight.
Romantic.
Well, actually, yeah. But it's no time to
In
feel
Rome.
amorous. Now's not a time to get a stiffy.
Especially if you've just had the op.
Yeah.
Shervo.
Very distracting.
Uniquely for an Olympic marathon, the race neither started nor finished in the main stadium. Ending instead at the Arch of Constantine outside the Colosseum.
And then what? They were going to get a bus back or something?
Yeah.
Come on.
Pretty cool that
Finish at the stadium.
But at the Colosseum, that's pretty cool.
I
People
guess.
see ya.
Yeah, finish at the place where they should have been having events.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, that's right. They should have run through the Colosseum. That would be sick.
That'd be sick.
In Rome, Abebe had purchased new running shoes, but they did not fit well and gave him blisters, so he decided to run the entire 26-mile race barefoot.
Okay.
What?
A lot of the course was on old Roman cobblestones.
Oh my god. Your ankles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it.
Wow.
The course twice passed Piazza de Porta Capena, where the obelisk of Axum was then located. This obelisk dates back to the 4th century in the city of Axum in Ethiopia.
Oh, wow.
It had been looted by Italy in 1937 and taken back to Rome.
Classic.
So you can see how this monument has cultural and political significance for an Ethiopian runner running past
Yeah.
it.
And you said that was where it was then.
It was eventually returned to Ethiopia in 2005
God,
after,
that's so
after
long ago.
decades of back and forth.
Yeah. That took ages.
But you can see how he's running in a country that in his lifetime had taken over his country and had looted one of their famous monuments, and he's
Yeah.
running past it. Rome's like, we don't have enough famous monuments of our own.
Yeah.
We got to steal some.
When the runners passed the obelisk the first time, Abebe was rear of the lead pack. So still in the race, but not winning.
Yep.
Abebe and his coach, Oni Iskanen, decided that he should make his final move a little more than 1 kilometre from the finish line.
Yeah.
So stay with the pack right up to the end and then smoke them.
You don't need to be in front position for two and a bit hours. You
Yeah,
know?
you're running in their slipstream, kind of, right?
Yeah.
You sort of, that's where, in racing, is that where you want to be? Sort of boxed in. Not boxed in. You don't want to be boxed in. But you want to be tucked in. So you're not doing the hard work at the front of the pack. It's like in like bike racing where they always like rotate it, don't they?
Yeah, because they do have a bit of aerodynamics going on there, yeah.
Or a horse race is the same. It's like rarely does the lead horse win a long race. Unless it's bloody might and power. And obviously exceptions can be made.
So the plan is 1K from the finish line, step it up. It was at this point that the course passed the obelisk of Axum for a second time. When Bikila reached the obelisk, he was running even with Radi Ben Abdeselim of Morocco. With the final part of the track lit by Italian soldiers holding torches, bit more symbolism there,
Oh, God.
Bikila successfully pulled away and won the event by 200 metres.
Wow.
Whoa.
Immediately after crossing the finish line, Abebe began to touch his toes and run on the spot, and later said he could have easily run another 10 to 15 kilometres.
Wow, so a lot in the tank. Could have probably done it a lot quicker then. Because he was holding back till the last K.
Just gone for it.
Won by 200 metres.
200
That
metres.
that's crazy.
That's
Especially
might and power
especially-
sort of levels.
Especially when you're neck and neck. Just imagine this. At 1 kilometre, they're neck and neck.
Yeah.
And over that last K, he pulls 200 metres away.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
That'd be demoralising.
Oh, yeah. Because the whole time you're like, I got him.
Yeah, you'd be
I got
thinking,
him.
all right, I'm going to step it up into my turbo. And
Yeah.
your turbo is just, hey, come back, come back.
How am I going backwards?
After the race, Bikila told reporters who asked him why he'd run without shoes, he said, I wanted the world to know that my country, Ethiopia, has always won with determination and heroism. Badass. So barefoot, he had become Olympic champion and set a new world record in the process, shaving just under a second off Sergei Popov's time.
Wow.
Abebe clocked in at 2 hours, 15 minutes, 16.2 seconds. And he'd beaten Abdeselim from Morocco by 25 seconds.
Whoa, that's
Smoked
so
him.
And this is barefoot on cobblestones.
Yeah.
And then he's like at the end just sort of stretching and jumping around and
Running
looking,
on the spot. And
Fuck, that's how you get into my head.
Yeah.
Is do that and then look comfortable.
apparently, people who were watching on were amazed at how fresh he looked.
Wow.
They couldn't believe that everyone else is pulling up looking like they're about to die.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, yeah.
Looking like they'd just run a marathon.
Yeah. And he looks like he just strolled to the shop.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's going, well, is there any other events on?
Yeah, he's warmed up.
Yeah.
In third place was New Zealander Barry McGee.
Great
Oh
name.
my God, Barry McGee. Fantastic.
And his Wikipedia page, obviously the Rastafarian website, has something I haven't seen before, which is a quotes section attributed to Barry McGee. These are some of the quotes from Barry McGee, the 1960 bronze medalist for the marathon. His quotes are, anyone can run 20 miles. It's the next 6 that count. Another quote is, train, don't strain.
Okay.
Another one
That's
is,
about catching the train.
the back straight is where boys become men.
Okay.
All right, Barry. And then it says, and this
Takes
is,
that long. Started when I was only 17.
this is the full quote, including the lead up. This is what it says. Here's one of Barry's favourites, and it's one of his 12 commandments. Go straight to bed after training when you're sick.
So still train
Yeah.
when you're quite unwell. But then the secret is, as soon as you're done training,
Straight
off
to bed.
I
Don't
like-
shower. Get in bed
Get
sweaty.
in bed.
Get in
Sweat
bed.
it out.
And the only reason you get out of bed, more training.
I like how he's taken the classic 10 commandments. He's going,
12.
I'm going to chuck a couple more in there.
I mean, when you're full of that much wisdom,
Yeah.
like Barry McGee, train, don't strain.
10's not enough. I've got a lot of wisdom to share.
Loved it. I was just impressed that he had a quotes page.
Yeah, you
Like,
don't see that.
Then I was expecting them to be really inspiring
Yeah.
to make the cut.
McGeeisms. He was the bloody Irish guy of New Zealand.
He was the Irish guy of New
Is
Zealand.
that quotable Irish guy? Oscar Wilde.
I was like, Jason Byrne?
He's the Oscar Wilde of New Zealand.
So Abebe returned home to Ethiopia a national hero. He was Ethiopia's first ever Olympic medalist.
Cool.
And he'd won gold on the soil of the country that in his lifetime had invaded and occupied his country.
Yeah, that sweetens it a little bit, doesn't it?
Love it. In fact, he was the first ever black African gold medalist at all. So it was a big deal,
Wow.
and he was greeted by a large crowd, many dignitaries and the commander of the Imperial Guard before being paraded...
His former boss.
It is.
Yeah.
Before being paraded through the streets in front of thousands, before being presented to the emperor himself, Haile Selassie, who awarded him the Star of Ethiopia, and also gave him a little raise, promoted him to a rank equivalent of corporal.
Oh.
Nice.
Wow. I mean, that seems fitting.
Over the next few years, he won marathons in Greece, Slovakia, and Japan. He came fifth at the Boston Marathon in 1963, which was the only time in his competitive career that he completed an international marathon without being the winner.
Wow.
Apparently, I think the issue was it was really, really cold,
Ah.
and he was not used to that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But that fact alone is crazy. That's the only time in his entire career that he's run at an international race and not won.
And not been the winner.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's very cool.
Yeah. He probably he stopped off at O'Flaherty's or something.
Yeah.
Had a few too many pints of Guinness. I mean, that's what I would have done.
Yeah.
I'd
We
have
know.
concentrated on the race.
We know.
Oh, the route goes straight past O'Flaherty's?
Well, I mean, there's,
hey, when you're in the neighbourhood.
That'd be rude not to.
I like to picture that when he finished the Rome Olympic Marathon and all those Italian troops were standing at the end, he crossed the finish line in a fly kick. Just taking and I did some stretches. What else we got?
His eyes were then set on the 1964 Olympic Marathon in Tokyo. Abebe was the favourite to do what, until that point, no one had ever done before, win back-to-back medals, gold medals in the marathon. In fact,
no one had done that.
No one
Because
had-
people had heard of him now.
Yeah.
So that's now they're like, no, now we'll
Yeah, of
believe
course
him.
We
again.
expect this.
in fact, no one had ever won more than one medal of any kind in the marathon.
Wow.
No one had ever had a bronze and the next year done a silver or anything like that.
That's interesting.
It's like the peak was only short.
Yeah, a short peak in every 4 years. It's such a long event.
Yeah. And that's a long time, 4 years. It's a long time to be running and doing such intense activity on your body. And how old is he at this point?
So he won the first gold medal at 28.
Wow.
Now he's trying to back it up at 32.
And that's old.
Yeah, well, you can get into the over
Imagine
28
being
club.
32.
I can't.
Oh, my God. And imagine being 32.
It was so long ago.
And running, 40 Ks.
Unbelievable.
No. I mean, maybe when I was,
28.
30. Yeah, of course. 32.
So he's the favourite to win. However, about 6 weeks before the Olympics, Abebe began to feel pain while training.
No, Abebe.
It became apparent that he had himself acute appendicitis.
Oh, my God. Why is it so
Of his
common for
dick.
them to...
They're going to have to enlarge his penis. Just 5 weeks before the Olympics, he had surgery to remove his appendix, throwing serious doubt on his gold medal defence.
Unrelated to the appendicitis, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So 5 weeks before.
Oh, that's sad. It's a sad end of the report.
But he was
But
back.
thanks so much for telling it, Dave.
He was back on his feet in a few days and left the hospital within a week.
He ran home from the hospital, discharged himself, ran home.
Did the surgery himself.
And you better believe he lined up for the marathon on October 21.
Wow.
He was still the favourite, mostly because people were just like, he's a fan favourite and everything now.
Yeah.
But he was racing against 3 men that had since broken his world record in the 4 years.
Wow.
So he's no longer the fastest ever recorded time. There was Toro Terasawa of Japan,
Oh, my God.
Incredible.
Leonard Adelin of the United States, and Basil Heatley.
Oh, of where? Let us guess.
Up in Shropshire.
Basil!
Basil Heatley from Shropshire. He was representing Great Britain. Oh, Basil.
You don't say.
Basil Heatley!
What going to be one of the most English names I've ever heard?
Hello, I'm Basil Heatley!
Hello.
Basil Heatley from Kenilworth.
I trained by running around my estate.
Yeah.
I did.
Kenilworth. Love it.
Basil!
Basil Heatley.
Basil Heatley!
Hi, sir.
I say,
Hi,
Basil
sir.
Heatley.
Basil Heatley.
How do you do?
How do you do?
It's near Birmingham, kind of.
I practice running with a book on my head and a cup of tea.
Oh, chin, toodaloo.
Never dropped a drop.
Toodaloo. Basil Heatley. We've really changed Basil a lot, haven't we? But I think it's because we don't know.
No.
So we're like...
One
we've
of the two
covered-
kinds of English.
covered all bases.
That Basil Heatley's imposter. I'm the real Basil.
No, I say I'm the
Basil
real Basil.
Heatley.
I do declare.
Hello, Basil Heatley.
Now he's from the south. I do declare. I've got the vipers.
So what we need to know is that those 3 men, in order, have broken the world record, and they're all racing
Yeah, right.
against Abebe. So he's got a lot of challenges. Abebe began the race right behind the pack till about the 10 kilometre or 6 mile mark, when he slowly increased his pace. He began to pull away and left the others in the dust. He did lead the rest of the race.
Did he?
Abebe entered the Olympic Stadium alone to the cheers of 75,000 spectators. The crowd had been listening on the radio and anticipated his triumphant entrance. They all knew, here he comes.
Oh my God.
He finished with a time of 2 hours, 12 minutes, 11 seconds, which was 4 minutes and 8 seconds ahead of silver medalist Basil Heatley.
4 minutes.
4 minutes. By the time Heatley entered the stadium, Abebe had regained his breath and was doing calisthenics and stretches.
Oh my God, he's
What's
amazing.
calisthenics again?
What is it
So
like?
it's a bit like gymnastics.
He
He just jumped in on
aerobics.
another.
Yeah, he's just doing something
another
else.
event.
Yeah. It's got, yeah.
He's like, you got a spare spot?
He picked up the pole vault and had a crack. Again, he didn't look tired at all.
4 minutes and 8 seconds ahead of Basil.
And he'd also reclaimed the world record, cutting 1 minute 44 seconds off the world
Wow.
A
record.
minute 44.
Smashed it.
Holy shit. The fact that he's entered the stadium alone is pretty crazy. And then the fact that he's crossed the line, everybody cheers. Everybody has time to calm down.
Yeah.
And now we're bored because we're waiting for the
Yeah,
others.
Like he's grabbed the flag from from someone in the crowd. He's done a full lap at the stadium. Then Basil comes in. People have gone home.
Who cares, Basil?
Nah, good effort, Basil. Well done.
Well done. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're an Olympian.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Third came in 2 weeks later.
I hope they gave Daylight the silver medal because Basil Heatley certainly didn't deserve it.
Did I mention that Abebe was running in shoes this time?
Okay, so that makes a
Oh,
difference.
that's
That's
an
interesting.
advantage.
That is interesting.
He only ever did 2 races without shoes. He won his first gold medal, and then the follow-up race he ran without shoes again.
Okay.
But then he started
After that,
wearing...
he's like, I'll pop my shoes back on.
Yes, he was wearing Pumas or possibly Adidas.
Okay.
Adidas.
Adidas.
Just so the Americans don't lose their fucking minds.
People flipped out last time I said Adidas.
Yeah, it's because we're in a different country. And we say it differently.
There's a scene in Winning Time where Magic Johnson's being courted by all these shoe manufacturers to make shoes for him.
Oh, yep.
And this guy, just working for himself, who couldn't even get an appointment, is trying to go, hey, I'm starting up this company called Nike. Why don't you come on board with us? We want you're the guy. You'll get shares and that sort of stuff. And he ended up going with Adidas or one of the other companies. Right. And they flash on the screen what it would have been worth billions or whatever.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
But at the time, it would feel like a completely reckless decision.
Exactly.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's like people who, said they sold their shares at Apple or something and what they could have made now. It's like, well, you made the decision that was right at the time.
Converse is who he went with.
Ah, okay. Well,
And they were a really cool basketball shoe back then.
Yeah.
Adidas sponsored the games in Rome. I just looked it up, providing shoes for all participants in the running event. So that's why he was wearing Adidas when he won. Again, he was Ethiopia's only gold medalist, meaning he'd now won both medals his country had ever won.
Wow.
And he returned home to another hero's welcome. The emperor promoted him to the commissioned officer rank equivalent of lieutenant. He was also presented with a car, a white Volkswagen Beetle.
Nice.
That was his gift.
They give you a car. Yeah, I'd take that.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
I've always wanted a V-dub.
He's like,
a
this
little
will
Beetle.
make getting to work a lot easier. Not quicker, about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty zippy.
But, days when it's raining.
Yeah.
Or I just want to sleep in. It's nice to have the option.
He continued to run between Olympics, winning more marathons across the world. But in 1967, he injured his hamstring at a marathon in Spain, which was the first of many leg injuries.
Oh.
So what is he now? 35 years old? In July 1968, he travelled to Germany for treatment for circulatory ailments in his legs. The German government refused to accept payment for the medical services.
Oh, that's nice.
He's such a hero around the world.
Oh, that's nice.
Your money's not good here, mate.
Hey, it's on us. Abebe, we love you.
Yeah.
That's
Your
nice.
money's not good here, baby.
Really went for it.
You did. That was great.
The machine says it's declined. It says 9.
You made such intense eye contact with me as you did it. Oh, I loved it.
The German language
Yeah.
is an intense language. You've got to go all in.
They said, look, if you can't come up with the money, we will have to break your legs and undo the good work we've done. He rejoined the Ethiopian team for training ahead of the 1968 Mexico City Olympics, and it was discovered that he had a broken left fibula. The doctor advised him to stay off it until race day. He entered the marathon, but sadly had to pull out after 10 miles because of the broken fibula.
Oh.
And the event was
10
won
miles
by...
on a broken leg?
I know.
Is that what a fibula is?
Yeah, it's down
Holy
in
your,
shit.
It's in your calf, your
Yeah.
fibula and your fibula.
I'm not getting out of bed.
No way.
I guess I won't eat today.
Yeah, I'm starving to death.
Yeah.
If I've got a broken leg,
He's
I'm
running
done
10
for.
miles.
If I've got a broken leg, shoot me like a
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah,
I am
that's right.
done.
Oh, I'll never recover.
I'll never recover from
Pull up
this.
the sheet.
Take me off life support, doctor. You aren't on life. Okay, put me on life support and turn it
Pull
off.
the plug.
I'm done.
Yeah, you're reaching, trying to pull out all the plugs.
Jess, you're very much alive.
Jess,
Your leg's just in a cast.
This is just a normal doctor's surgery.
How do you kill me then? Tell me how to kill me.
So he had to pull out at the 10-mile mark, and the event was won by Abebe's countryman, fellow Ethiopian Mamo Wold.
Oh, that's good.
Great name. Wold was very gracious, and after the event said Bikila would have won the race if not for his injury. Which, when you look at the times, you're like, maybe his time was 8 minutes slower than Abebe at the previous Olympics.
Wow.
So you go, well, if...
That's just sportsmanship, and that's,
Yeah, it's
and
really
especially
nice.
being on the same team and stuff, you'd be disappointed for your friend, but obviously a bit stoked for yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a little asterisk next to your win. though, isn't
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Which
Just
is...
Knowing that you probably wouldn't have won that.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't that funny? Because that's always going to be true, right? There's always someone who hasn't taken up running who would have been quicker.
Oh, there's so many factors in every win and loss and whatever.
Yeah, it's sort of silly to think that way.
Despite the disappointment of not completing the race, when Abebe returned home to Ethiopia, he was still greeted with a hero's welcome and promoted to the rank of captain.
Oh, he just keeps getting promotions.
Yeah.
Every time he goes to an Olympics, he gets a promotion. This
They're
is
like,
great.
all right, come back. Sadly,
Oh, no.
this was to be the last marathon he ever ran because on March 22nd, 1969, tragedy struck.
No. Abebe.
Abebe lost control of his Volkswagen Beetle and it overturned, trapping him inside. At first, the accident left him a quadriplegic, paralysed from the neck down, and he never walked again.
Oh, no.
Which for someone who's made their life
Yeah.
from running must be
Extra. That's
very
just-
hard to take. Yes.
Totally. It would be for anybody, but yeah, you're right. When your entire life has been running and professional sports.
And that's what you're known for.
Just that little bit, salt in the already big wound.
Mm.
A week after the accident, Abebe was transferred to Stoke Mandeville Hospital in England, where he spent 8 months receiving treatment. He was visited by Queen Elizabeth II
Wow.
and received get well cards from all over the world.
She could have just sent a card.
She could have, but he's
Visited.
very famous at this point.
Wow.
Where's she the queen of?
Where?
Yeah.
It's easy to name a country that she's not the queen of.
Okay. Go on.
America.
I thought you would name a country and I'd tell you.
Oh, okay. Mozambique.
I think it's pronounced Mozambique Way.
Damn it.
The good news, he was able to regain movement in his arms and began training in Paralympic sports like archery and table tennis.
What? Wow.
This is a quote from him. Men of success meet with tragedy. It was with the will of God that I won the Olympics, and it's with the will of God that I met with my accident. I accepted those victories as I accept this tragedy. I have to accept both circumstances of facts of life and live happily.
That is sick.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's
That's a great outlook.
Yeah.
And absolutely true.
He participated in a games for disabled people in Norway, and although he was invited as a guest, he beat a field of 16 in cross-country sled dog racing.
What?
This is a man...
He'd never seen a dog in his life.
He's from Ethiopia, he's racing against people in Norway in sled dog racing. And he won, and he proving his strength and determination as an athlete.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Abebe was invited to the next Olympics in 1972 in Munich as a special guest and received a standing ovation during the opening ceremony.
Oh, man. That's nice.
Good stuff.
They love him in Germany. Is there a reason for that in
They
particular?
love him everywhere.
I think he's
Right,
just
okay,
very.
yeah.
Yes, I think
There's
he's
just been a few. I'm
I think
like,
he's just
the
loved.
car's German.
Yeah.
The surgery was free in Germany.
Yeah.
And I think he's just, very well loved. Sadly, all good things must come to an end. And I really mean that I'm super bummed for this guy because he seemed like an absolute legend. A year after the 1972 Olympics, Abebe suffered cerebral hemorrhage, a complication related to his accident 4 years earlier. When he died, he was just 41.
Oh, yeah, wow.
He was buried with full military honours. His state funeral was attended by an estimated 65,000 people, including the Emperor Haile Selassie, who proclaimed a day of mourning for the country's national hero. In Ethiopia, he's still a national hero, and a stadium in the capital, Addis Ababa, is named in his honour.
Oh, that's nice.
And his legacy really lives on. He was the first, but certainly not the last, East African long-distance running champion. Abebe inspired the next generation, bringing to the forefront the now accepted relationship between endurance and high-altitude training in all kinds of sports.
Yeah.
Because he'd been running his whole life naturally. He's only 24 when he started training. But before that, he'd been basically preparing himself. 6 of the next 14 male marathon champions after him would be also from East Africa, either fellow Ethiopians or from neighbouring countries like Kenya and Uganda.
Yeah, wow.
So he sort of was a trailblazer in that way?
Totally trailblazer and inspired the generations after
Wow.
him, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
so it's not a coincidence. He made it seem like it was a thing, an achievable thing or whatever.
That's right, yep.
Wow.
He was survived by his wife, Uebda, 3 sons and a daughter.
Wow. So, I mean, packed a lot into a short life.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's really sad that he died so young. But I mean, even to have that sort of outlook that he had was lovely. That you the victories and the tragedies are all part of life, and you
That's right.
have to accept them equally. That's amazing. Wow, what a story!
So you can see why I've wanted to do it for
Yeah.
ages. It's just an amazing life.
I'm embarrassed that I didn't know his story at all. When he's such a legend.
Such a legend.
Wow, was that you didn't know either? Matty?
No.
And you were around then, so I guess I don't feel too bad.
Yeah.
Come on, surely you're watching TV.
I watched him run.
You're holding a torch in Italy.
Yes. As a 1/4 Swiss Italian.
They let you have the honour.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I don't know much about marathon running in general. I don't think I could. Is Steve Monaghetti, was he a marathon
Yeah.
guy? Like, I know a couple of the Australian ones from when I was a kid.
Ballarat.
John De Castella. So they're the two they're probably the only 2 marathon runners I could name.
Okay.
He was the mustache one.
Right.
I think he was just before Steve Monaghetti. He won I don't know, some sort of a medal.
Some sort of a medal.
But, I can't remember. He probably won a gold in the Commonwealth. I don't know how he went in the Olympics.
Yeah,
Because
okay, yeah.
the East African runners have been so dominant since, obviously,
And so are you
1960.
saying that a factor of that is the high altitude?
I believe high altitude and body type does.
Isn't that fascinating?
Because he's quite short and very slim. I think he only weighed 55 kilos,
Yeah.
Abebe.
Wow.
And long distance runners do tend to be that sort of, they're beanpoles. They're very lean, whereas like sprinters will be a bit more muscly in the legs in particular.
That's right.
That sort
they
of
need
power.
the power, yeah.
Whereas long distance runners, they
You
tend
need
to be
lean.
very, very lean.
Very lean. He definitely...
Isn't that fascinating that just your body type can make you like better at a certain type of sport than another?
Yeah, that's right.
It's
I guess
amazing.
it's obvious with basketball. You're taller, it's an advantage. But yeah, for running. But I guess also you get skinnier by running marathons.
Yeah.
That's true.
And you work on bulking up to be a sprinter.
Yeah.
Like they do more weights and stuff, I suppose.
Yeah.
I've just looked up Robert De Castella. He won Commonwealth gold in 82 and 86 and the 83 World Championship Marathon.
Yeah, right.
In Helsinki.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
fascinating. What a story.
It's the marathon is because it's got a long history, right? It's like, it's named after somewhere in Greece or something, is it that one?
Yes, a guy delivering a message of a victory, I think, to marathon.
Yeah, so it's got quite a long history, and that's why it's that specific distance and stuff. But yeah, I've got friends who've started doing a few occasionally, and I'm like, the 10 to 15K is like my peak. I just feel like it'd be, even doing a half one.
Yeah, it's a lot. But it's like, and that's, again, I guess where it sort of comes into your body type and your different capabilities and stuff. You won't run for a while, and then to start getting back into running, you'll start with a 5K. Whereas I need to work up to it takes me ages to get to a 5K.
Yeah, I guess I'm sort of more of a naturally got just a slim, slim legs and whatever, lanky.
And
whereas sprinting is
power.
Which I don't really have.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I find it really fascinating.
Yeah, the origin of marathon comes from the legend of Philippides, who was a Greek messenger after the scene of a victory over the Persians in 490 BC. The modern race is based on the tradition that a messenger, Philippides, ran from Marathon to Athens, and the distance was 22 miles.
Okay, there you go.
Right.
From Marathon
to Athens to say, hey, we won. But the original account from Herodotus says that he may have run 150 miles, so who knows?
Okay, that's quite a difference.
That's a lot more. Were you in school and stuff? Were you more of a short distance runner?
Yeah, sprinter, 100 meters.
That makes sense. That's what, and you famously do like a ton on leg press.
Yeah, haven't done it for a long time, but I could leg press a ton. Yes. Yeah. They say
you're ever trapped under rubble.
Yeah.
You'd just be able to leg press your way out of it.
People tell stories about mothers lifting cars off their children. Not me.
No.
Leg press off their children.
Help, my baby's stuck.
Let me just get in position.
Have you got a leg press?
Yeah. You guys got something I can lean on for a second, please? Yeah, it's exactly like my very few regrets in my life, but one would be if I could go back and tell my 20-year-old self to start lifting weights. It's going to be a lot. Yeah. Stop trying to be a long-distance runner. Right. You're not.
Yeah,
so don't stop doing it. It hurts and it's bad for you. Do something else. You can lift stuff. You're strong. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Start saving babies.
Yeah.
Imagine the babies you could have saved.
I know. So many babies are dead because of me. So many.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's good that you own it.
When you die and God says, look, there's no afterlife, luckily for you, because you killed a lot of babies.
So many babies.
Well, you didn't kill them.
But you did not kill them.
You didn't save them either.
You didn't save them. Well, you could have.
Anyway, that's it. No.
Uru. I'm not real. Okay, God, bye.
Wait, God, what?
Yeah. That's how it gets you. He does a bit of a prank on you. Because you die sort of going, hang on a second. Dead.
Damn it.
Yeah, he's good.
Dave, does that bring us to everyone's favourite section of the show?
I believe it does. Now we're through all the formalities.
What a fantastic report. I really did enjoy it. I loved all those little stories in the story as well. But
yeah, a lot of fun. We went on a journey.
What a story.
Abebe.
So good. All right, well, this brings us to everyone's favourite section of the show where we thank a lot of our great supporters, without whom this show would not exist. If you want to get involved, you can go to dogoonpod.com or patreon.com/dogoonpod. These links are in the show notes, and you can sign up on all sorts of different levels. There's different rewards for different levels. Dave, do you have any examples there?
Hey, we put out 3 bonus episodes for our Patreon supporters' ears only. And those 3 episodes over the years have really added up now. There's close to 150 for you to listen to right now if you support us at that level. So lots of stuff there. And also you can be part of the Facebook Patreon group, a lovely corner of the internet, possibly the only lovely corner of the internet. Yeah. We'll tell you about shows before anyone else. You get discounts, tickets, and also you get to vote for topics. So you really steer the show. And
That's
also
right.
you get to power your life and the satisfaction that you get from helping us out.
Yeah. Power your life through...
Power your life with that. That's like, talk about like renewable energy.
Yeah, you'll never pay an electricity bill again.
And the first thing we like to do is a section we call the fact, quote, or question section, which has a little jingle that goes something like this, I think.
Fact, quote, or question.
He always remembers the ding. And on this one, if you sign up on the Sydney Scheinberg level... you get to give us a fact, a quote, or a question, or a suggestion, or a brag, or whatever you like, really. You also get to give yourself a title. I don't read these out until I read them out. I'll tell you that for nothing. And that's just in case I mispronounce anything. I'm so defensive about it. I've
never read it before.
I've never read it, okay? I haven't practiced this a lot in my bedroom earlier.
I can't read.
Doing my best. All right, so the first one this week comes from Sam Cash. You also get to give yourself a title, and Sam's title is Brigadier General of the Sausage Submarine of the Sky.
Brigadier. Brigadier General of the Sausage Submarine
of the
Sky. Love that.
I love
Beautiful.
Brigadier General Cash. That's
Do you
a
think
name.
a sausage submarine would be a euphemism for a dick?
Maybe.
Yeah, Submarine of the Sky. There's a lot going on there. Sky,
Yeah.
beautiful stuff.
Beautiful. It's my sky dick.
I don't know if this is this like, have we called the like a blimp or something a sausage submarine of the sky in the past?
We should have. If we didn't, that was a missed opportunity.
As always, these titles, I never know if they're referring to something we've said, but often, you know, that there's a clue in the fact quote or question that is offered. And Sam is offering us a fact this week.
Great.
And it reads, I wouldn't dream of calling this a fun fact. I'll leave that to Jess.
Yep.
But
Thank you, Sam. It's my decision to make.
during World War I, yes, here we go, German Zeppelins were used for precise bombing runs. The gas-filled crafts were up to 240 metres long. The amount of resources required to produce them had a huge impact on the country. To produce the helium gas bladders, the Germans found the best material with the least amount of gas leakage was cow guts. The very same cow guts used for sausage casing.
See, it's all making sense.
During the height of the Zeppelin construction, the production of sausages was outlawed in Germany and occupied parts of Austria, Poland, and France. Each Zeppelin used approximately 250,000 cows or 30 million potential sausages. Yum! Love the pod. Keep up the amazing work and catch you guys when you make it to the States. Cheers. Cheers to you, Sam Cash.
250,000 cows.
cows.
There's got to be a better way.
What would all those cowards be doing now for work? They've got cows to tend.
Thank you very much for that great fact,
Just
Sam.
wanted to call back to that good joke
To a
I'd made
very-
earlier.
That's
Very
fantastic
clever
bit.
observation.
Just wanted to bring
So-
that back so people remember, God, she's clever.
The only problem is, Jess, a lot of people skip the first half of the show and come straight to everyone's favourite section, so they
That's
won't
true.
get the call back.
That's true. Well, go back and, if you've got time, listen to the actual episode.
Yeah, listen to the preamble.
I think you'll like it. I think you'll find it interesting and informative and fun.
Yeah, it's not everyone's favourite, but
No,
it's still pretty
It's
good.
pretty good.
Thank you, Sam, Brigadier General. The next one comes from Siraj Pieris. And I caught up with Siraj a couple times during the festival. Always a pleasure. He's one of our great supporters and
What
great
a guy.
supporters of
What a guy.
Melbourne comedy. And he have I talked about on the pod before how one of my favourite drinks as a kid, or if I'm ever out at a country bakery, I always get the Portello.
Oh, yes.
Portello and a Danish tart.
Yeah.
That's sort of like my nostalgia meal at a country bakery. And he found a beer that is a Portello beer. So he came and dropped off a 4-pack of them at my show.
That's
And
good.
I haven't tried them yet, but I'm really excited to. Anyway, Siraj, aka bingo enthusiast and ungrateful child.
Okay.
Siraj is offering a brag. Let's see if this sheds any light on that title.
I think it's all pretty self-explanatory.
That's true.
Loves bingo, is a piece of shit.
Siraj's brag is following Michelle Brazier's challenge/advice on the Fast and the Furious episode. I saw honk honk hubba hubba ring a ding ding reform the live pods and the quiz shows. Oh, remember? Yeah, Michelle said go see them all.
That's right.
That is such
Nobody
great
would have
effort.
thought of that if Michelle hadn't said it.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for putting that in Siraj's head. So Siraj says, I'm calling bingo. I don't have a sick brother, but my mum just got back from hospital. When can I expect Michelle to tell my mum to fuck off? P.S. My mum's fine. P.P.S. I didn't make up the big things bingo myself. That was posted by Matt. Huh. So yeah, Siraj in the Facebook group, he did a big thing bingo card where he took photos in front of all these big things around Australia. Does he mean that I posted it? I have no recollection of that.
You don't remember anything, though. You're an old man.
That's true. I've got an old brain.
We love Siraj. Siraj is just an absolute delight. It was a pleasure seeing you in the front row at the comedy festival, my friend.
Cheers, Siraj. All right, the next one comes from Paul Meller. Paul is given himself the title, Just a Bloke Walking His Dog While Listening to Do Go On. I love he posts photos on Twitter of his walks. I've said this before. He lives in some lovely spot in England. They're always just these lovely shots of the forest or something.
Oh, that's nice.
Very nice. Paul has a question, writing, so I'm on holiday at the moment, taking 2 weeks off work. Hope you're enjoying yourself, Paul. This week, my family and I have travelled to the Cotswolds and are living in a country cottage and enjoying some well-earned downtime.
That sounds so amazing.
It got me thinking, I could really get used to this. Other than some organised day trips, I'm just really enjoying going for a walk with the dog and no pressures. Treating ourselves to some nice food and a few cheeky beers of an evening. Wake up whenever we feel like it the next day and repeat. Almost sounds like a brag now. But I guess my question is, what do you like to do most on holidays? Keep up the great work. Just listen to the Island of Dr. Moreau live episode. Very, very funny report, Jess. That's a good question, but I feel like I don't know what my answer would have been, but I feel like my answer now is whatever you just said.
Yeah.
That sounds so good.
Oh, man. You've also asked that question at a time when I am quite burnt out.
Yeah.
And
So you
just hearing about Paul's holiday, I felt my body physically relax.
that made me feel good too.
Yeah. Dave, sorry, you were going to answer. You had something locked and loaded.
Oh, I love just to walk around.
Yeah, have a little explore.
Long walk, and I also love to go to the local supermarket, see what they've got that we don't have.
Yeah, that's true.
Love that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love a walk as well.
I like, I don't know, I think I used to sort of like being a classic tourist more, and like seeing things, and you've come all this way, you're going to be out and about, you've got to be doing stuff. But now I am very busy in my life, so when I have a break, I like to just do it as little as possible. I love to be on a beach, walk on a beach, sit by a fire. Like I like to be able to put my feet up a little bit and not have to like check my emails
Having the fresh air.
Yeah, not have a deadline for a little bit is nice.
Totally with you. I used to think that, I'd be so bored on those beach holidays. You do nothing. I want to go out and do things. And then when I won that trip to Mexico with Taco Bill, it was part of it was in this Mexico City, seeing stuff, big city, one of the biggest ones in the world. And then the other part was going to Tulum on the beach at a resort. And I loved doing nothing. I think
a bit of a mix is ideal.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Just at a resort, like, you go to the beach, you go
see
sit by the
things,
pool.
do stuff, and you're still feeling good because you don't have that sort of pressures of work stuff to do or whatever. You don't have to be rushing home, by a certain time. That's nice. But you got to have an element of just being a bit of a piece of shit. Get some sleep. Wake up whenever you want. It's nice.
Visit the breakfast buffet.
Yes.
That's what I love doing on holidays, breakfast buffets.
Yeah, he loves a breakfast buffet.
Pandemic has really killed them a little bit.
Remember that tiny banana in
Thailand? It was so
Thailand.
small.
It was a tiny little banana.
I don't remember that at all.
There's a photo on our Instagram. You want to see it?
I think I rarely get to have holidays where there is a breakfast buffet available, but I
Well,
like
you're not
the
in
idea of it.
Dave's tax bracket.
That's true.
When you travel like Dave travels, there's a bloody breakfast buffet.
They call it the buffet bracket.
No, it's a buffet.
Warren Buffett bracket.
Me and Warren Buffett.
Thank you very much, Paul. Great question. Geez, that did make me dream a little bit.
Yeah, I just felt much more relaxed.
And finally, Nathan Swap, aka a connoisseur of victory pastries. Pastries. I thought it was going to be pasties. Oh, anyway, a connoisseur of victory pastries.
Okay.
It's probably good to remind them that you don't read them before you read them.
Yeah.
I love pastries.
Nathan's also got a question, which is the humble croissant is often considered French, but its origins lay in Vienna, Austria.
Huh.
A predominant myth is that croissants were baked after the failed Ottoman siege of Vienna in 1683. The Christian forces made the pastries in the shape of the Ottoman crescent moon. However, this remains a myth as no origins can be confirmed. So my question for everyone is, what pastry or baked good would you want to celebrate a victory over your mortal enemy? And as we always, and as Paul did, if you're asking a question in this section,
answer your question.
Love an answer. And Nathan answers saying, my answer is either a nice cake donut or a big loaf of banana bread?
Ooh.
Geez, that'd really rub it into your enemies. A
Check
big
that.
loaf of banana bread.
I want something that you can have with like a cup of tea or a coffee or something.
Fantastic.
That's nice. I love a chocolate cake. I make these ginger cookies I love them very much. I do love croissants. So does my dog, and I always say it's because he's French. But now that I know they might not be French.
Oh, maybe the dog's not French.
Oh my God, is he Austrian?
Is he an Austrian bulldog?
I'll still love him. I'm just confused.
Yeah, I mean, I just mentioned Neenish tarts.
Yeah.
Do they count as a baked?
Baked?
Yeah.
A pasty.
I love a
Pasty
pasty.
sauce.
Yes.
And then a Neenish tart and a bottle of Portello.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, that's victory.
That's victory.
One,
if I'm at
one,
that country
a pinky
bakery
finger
with
off
you,
the Portello.
If I'm at that country bakery with you, what's Portello? Like, what's
Like a soft drink that's It's,
what sort
it's
of
all-
flavoring is it?
It's meant to be like grapes. But
Okay.
I don't think it tastes like any. It's just colours and chemicals.
Because I'd be going for like a passiona
Ooh.
or a
hello, boys.
pasito,
Oh, Kirk's.
and I'd go a pasty as well, and then a lemon tart.
Oh yeah,
Delish.
that's a
Or a Big M.
fantastic.
I used to go a
Or
Big
a
M, but
Kiwa
that's too
Valley
much.
strawberry, depending on where we
What-
are.
yeah, whatever. Or a Nippy's iced coffee if it's
Oh,
available.
Love a Nippies. That's my victory meal is meat pie, chocolate Nippies, wash it all down with a jelly slice.
I've never.
Oh.
I don't. I mean, I like to think I don't hold grudges, but ever since Nippies,
Yeah, didn't want to give us free Nippies.
yeah, the it wasn't free. It was gonna be a sponsorship thing.
Yeah, but they were going to give us Nippies.
We've never talked about that on air. have we?
Well-
We've probably explained that we nearly had a Nippy sponsorship deal and then
Yeah,
it all
and
went
then
sour.
someone at Nippies wanted to do it, and there was this conversation that was happening, and then the big boss at Nippies said, "No, you may not. We will not be associated with them." I don't think I've had a Nippies since.
Every time I give blood and I have the option of Nippies, I'm like, I want it, but it doesn't taste as good as it would have.
No, not as sweet. And we would have given them the biggest rap. Would have been the best,
Yeah, we're big Nippies fans.
biggest plug. All they had to do was send us a couple of Nippies. That's all we wanted.
Well,
You blow
we show them. We'll never talk about them on this podcast. They missed their
We'll
shot.
never talk about how much we love their products. Not once. Nope.
The beautiful big straws.
Yes, good size straw.
Anyway, what are we doing? I got lost thinking about Nippies and victory pastries. The other thing we like to do on the show is thank a few of our other great supporters. Jess, you normally have a bit of a game to do with the topic we just explored.
Do we give them an event that they
Oh, yeah.
they medal in?
Dominating.
They don't have to get gold.
Stop meddling in my
Oh, yeah,
events.
so they could get a poo medal.
They could get a poo medal.
Okay.
They're probably on the podium, I guess.
All right. Well, if I may kick us off.
Podium.
Yes.
Now, is that a pun, Dave?
It is, and
That's
it
a pun.
sucks. So please continue. Do go on. Please continue. New show title.
If I could kick us off, I'd love to thank. Ooh, looks like from address unknown, can only assume deep from within the fortress of the moles is where they reside. I'd love to thank Richard Cloughton or Clawton.
Richard Cloughton.
Could be Clofton.
Clofton.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
good.
I mean, if we knew where they were from,
Yeah.
we could have a better guess.
That's Irish. It could be Clofton, I guess. I could be completely wrong. Let's say Cloughton. Richard Cloughton has a bit of a feel of like a real gentleman's sport. You know, like I'm thinking track and field. I'm thinking shot put? Javelin.
Javelin, what kind of
Nice.
medal?
Silver.
Silver.
Silver medal in javelin.
Love that.
Yeah.
Silver medal in javelin. Well done, Richard Cloughton or Clawton or Cloughton.
Nailed it.
Let's just call him Dickie C.
Dickie C.
I'd also love to thank from Watsonia North here in Victoria, Australia, Jill Welch.
Jill Welch. Welch, what is that?
That says swimmer to me.
Me too. I was thinking
Squelch.
butterfly.
Butterfly. That's a tough
Madam
one.
Butterfly.
200
Before
meters?
Susie O'Neill.
And after.
Wow.
Susie O'Neill had a brief interlude
As Madam Butterfly.
as Madam Butterfly, but Jill, either side.
Wow. That's a
Game.
legacy, Jill.
Yeah, the Jill Welch sandwich.
And like
Sand Welch.
with a legacy like that, we're going golds all the way through.
Yeah.
Right?
Gold, 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 gold.
Go, 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 go.
Then
Yeah.
platinum invented a new medal
Yeah,
for
because they were
Jill.
like, Jill, it's embarrassing how much you're winning by.
Yeah.
We got to give other people a go. And so rather than adding one at the bottom,
Yeah,
we got to
well,
add one
at
to
the
the top.
Love it.
And finally from me, also from Address Unknown,
Hmm.
also assuming from deep within the fortress of the moles, it is a one-namer, Stefan or Stefan.
Stefan.
Or Stefan.
It's hard to know without more information.
Stefan does not give a lot away, but that's why they are so good at being undercover. In the hide and seek Olympics.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
And Stefan hid originally at the... Was it the...
Atlanta Olympics?
Yeah, I think
In
so.
the toilet there?
Never found.
Yeah,
Still haven't been found. It's the longest reigning champion.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We hope Stefan's okay.
Yeah, I think Stefan disappeared.
Had to give the gold medal to his widow.
Who's still calling themselves the wife, but
yeah.
holding on to hope.
But the media does keep saying widow, and she
Yeah.
does not like
And
it.
I mean, Stefan, by supporting our show,
Yeah.
sort of suggests still
Alive.
exists. Alive and well.
And Stefan, well done. An honour to have you. Thank you so much.
I love calling it Atlanta Olympics. That's what Roy and HG's running joke at Sydney. They'd go, Atlanta, oh yeah, the toilet. What an awful Olympics.
May I thank some people as well?
I'd love it if you could.
Thank you so much. I would love to thank from Greenway in the Australian Capital Territory here in Australia, Kate Beath.
Kate
Beath.
Beath is a great name.
KB.
Beath. That sounds... Kate Beath. That sounds to me like a gymnast that like specialises in the vault.
Ooh, okay.
The vault.
Kate Beath.
Yeah, Kate Beath on the vault.
I feel like Kate Beath is a gold medalist in the Commonwealth Games and a silver medalist in the Olympics.
Fucking hell, you'd take that, wouldn't you? I'd
Absolutely.
take that.
Oh, I'd
sure.
take that.
I'd take that.
Any day of
I'd
the
love
week.
to have been good at gymnastics
so
or
good.
anything. Again, would love that.
Kate Beath.
Well done, Kate Beath. What a pleasure to have you. I would also have to thank from Bickley in Western Australia, Karina Smeets. Smeets in lane 1. I'm thinking 400 metres.
Okay.
And the 4x400. That's what I reckon.
What leg of the race?
Anchor.
Ah.
Really bringing it home.
Which is an important leg, as we were discussing
Yeah.
Karina
I mean, in the
Smeets.
400, there's no position, because you're just doing 400. But the 4x400, yeah, anchor.
In the solo event, you are your own anchor.
You are your own anchor. Isn't that beautiful? You only have you to rely on.
Your own anchor.
That's a nice lesson.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you, Karina Smeets. And finally, for me, I would love to thank from Werribee in Victoria. A bunch of Aussies for me today. Benjamin Kleinberg.
Benjamin Kleinberg.
That's a really fun name.
I'm getting like a Winter Olympic vibe.
Yes.
Like, like a long distance speed skate, like 5,000 meters.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Great.
Endurance.
Yeah.
Strength.
And like a bit of I feel like Australia is getting more and more involved in the Winter Olympics.
Yep.
And he's really sort of like a pioneer of his sport, which is very cool. Like the next generations will see Benjamin Kleinberg as a real legend of the game.
Thank you so much, Benjamin Kleinberg. Hey, I would like to thank now from San Juan Capistrano in California. It is Craig and Becca Cousins.
Okay, so like a doubles event.
Craig, I feel like, is it only equestrian that both men and women compete?
At the same
event.
Yeah, or I was thinking like figure skating.
Oh, okay, a little bit of a Torval and Dean
Yeah.
style.
Mixed tennis. Do they have that at the Olympics? Were you asking for real answers?
Oh, because you're thinking Summer Olympics.
I was thinking of summer, but yes, you're absolutely right for the...
I guess so. I can't think of other things. Yeah, because other like the water sports and stuff are male and female, I believe. So we could go equestrian. But then I kind of want them to both be on the horse at the same time.
Oh, can we? Yeah, I mean, we don't have to be restricted by...
True, you made up the hide and seek Olympics.
Mate, what? Yeah.
It's supposed to be a secret. So yeah, you can make something up, or you can we can go with equestrian or a winter sport.
What about snow equestrian?
Okay. So are you on horses or are you on ski-doos?
Or snow leopards.
Yeah, what are you riding?
All three. You're on ski-doos pulled by a snow leopard. And it's a race. But also a judged event for how beautiful you look.
While you do it?
Exactly.
Wow, that ski-doo has beautiful braids.
You get in a time and then an average score out of 10 and then you add them together and whoever's got the highest
There's
score.
a swimsuit
No, lowest
section.
score. Shit, no, that doesn't work.
There's a swimsuit section?
Yeah.
That ski-doo looks beautiful in a bikini.
A lot of high beams on, let me tell you.
I just like saying ski-doo.
It's your time minus your score out of 10.
Right. Okay, yeah. That's bonkers, if I can be honest. But thank you, Craig and Becca Cousins.
I will add that Craig and Becca
sorry for this.
I will say that they're the only people who do it in the world, so they are automatic gold medalists.
Yeah.
Wow. That's clever.
And they challenge people to contest them.
On their ski-doos. I would like to thank now from unknown location. Can only assume we've got another mole fortress dweller. We've got a bit to work with the name though. Oscar Terry Young.
Oh, Terry.
Terry.
Great to have you on board, Terry.
Always good to have you on board, Terry. Obviously, we were shouting out to you before and you don't like. Dave was saying you don't really like us shouting you
Mainly
out.
because your
So
first
we'll
name
keep
is
it brief.
First name is Oscar. We keep giving the wrong name.
OTY.
What's OTY the Olympian of?
The Olympian of freshest food fighter.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
Again, is it like judged on accuracy of throwing the food, but also how fresh and good the food is?
That's right.
None of this Rotten Tomato stuff.
You've got to cook your own food fresh, and then you have the food fight, and
so
then
it's hot.
Yeah, and the judges come in then and eat the food.
So it's hot food that you're throwing. So you're burning people.
So
what if I've made a soup?
It's multifaceted. Well, I really hope you haven't made a soup.
You know how my soups are always too hot.
I know. That's why you'll never make it in this
They're
event.
far too hot, my soups.
But we will. No, so it's multifaceted. There's the cooking, there's the accuracy, and there's the taste.
The quality of the food. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
And no soups allowed. Sorry, Jess.
Okay, well, I'm out.
Yeah.
That feels like a very much anti-Jess rule.
It was. You burned a lot of people.
I don't know how to control temperatures of soups.
Literally and figuratively. Oscar Terry Young, though.
Yeah.
Fantastic fresh food fighter.
So what sort of medal position are we looking at?
Cake medal.
Nice.
Yeah.
But then it is put on a table with real medals, and the judges have to identify which one is cake. Been watching a bit of Is It Cake lately.
Is it cake? Great question. And Oscar Terry Young can answer. And your final shout out there, David?
Final shout out. Another mole fortress dweller. Unknown location of Shauna Utba.
Shauna Utba. Horse drawer. So
okay.
Yeah. So while the equestrian event is on, Shauna is very good at it too, but I mean the whole field draws the horses, and the best drawing wins.
Wins
I
what?
like it.
Wins a medal, and
the
Shauna
horse?
won the gold-plated medal.
Yep.
Which is what all the gold medals are just gold-plated. But Shauna likes to be honest about it. I don't really think it was a gold medal. Shauna says it's only gold-plated.
Right.
And everyone's like, yeah, that's all gold medals, isn't it? And she says, I don't know.
And that thrilling conversation was, of course, worth repeating.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the most famous interviews Bruce McAvaney ever did.
I mean, they're all gold-plated, Shauna. I didn't know that, so. Okay, well, good to know, I suppose.
Thank you, Shauna, Oscar, Craig and Becca, Benjamin, Karina, Kate, Stefan, Jill and Richard. And the last thing we like to do is welcome members into the Triptych Club. Only one this week.
Okay.
So the Triptych Club is a place you get entry into, lifetime entry, if you support us on the shout-out level or above for 3 straight years. And once you come in, you enter the club. I'm standing on the door. I'm the doorman. I've got the door list. I pull up the velvet rope. I welcome you in. Dave's on stage inside, as so is everyone else has been welcomed in before, and they're cheering you on.
Mm-hmm.
Dave is hyping you up. The crowd's chanting your name. Dave gives you a little tickle, little ego tickle, and
not a physical one.
By doing some sort of a weak pun on your name or your city of origin,
Please.
and then Jess sort of builds up Dave.
Okay, I will not be touching the patrons.
And Jess, you normally have a cocktail named after the episode as well?
Yeah, well, actually what I have now is everything is Olympic themed, and I've got a food for each Olympic. Like, I've got the Olympic rings laid out on a table,
fantastic.
but in food.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so it's really nice, actually.
And they're all soup.
It's all soup. I got
5
blue
different
soup.
coloured soup.
I got green soup.
Yep.
You know, I've got all the soups.
Black soup.
I've got black soup. It's not good.
No, it's very burnt.
It's very bad soup. But
it hits the colour markers.
yeah.
And Dave,
Visually beautiful.
beautiful. Don't eat it.
Don't eat it.
Maybe at the red one. That's okay.
That's tomato.
Yeah. Green soup, not too bad, but
it's too hot.
yeah. I will warn you.
It's the edible one, but it's far too hot.
Yeah, you've got to give it quite a bit of time to cool off. It's a very hot soup.
It's a hot soup.
Dave, you normally book a band as well?
Yes, we are so fortunate to have booked. I've been in contact with these guys for months. They managed to sort of give me the runaround, I'll be honest. But I've been able to lock them in this week.
Yep.
That is the band Marathon.
Oh,
Wow.
that's convenient.
Performing their hit songs, some lovely parting gifts, and I don't have a dancing problem.
Yeah.
Very defensive marathon.
I don't have a dancing problem. I'm fully in control of my dancing.
That's from their 2005
I'm a social dancer.
So Marathon will play the after party. Grab yourself some soup. Get ready
Do
to
not
see.
eat
Do
it.
not eat it. Whatever you do.
Let it cool for at least 3 hours. It's so hot.
Oh my God.
And probably avoid the blue and black soup.
Don't eat the blue and black.
And looking forward to hearing Marathon. But before we get to that, let's welcome in this week's new inductee to the Triptych Club from Surrey Hills here in Victoria, Australia. It's Sam Cross.
Ooh, I was cross, but now I'm happy. Sam Cross.
Go on, Matt. Find a flaw in that. That was perfect.
That was fantastic, Dave.
Thank you.
A return to form.
Finally.
Jess felt so strongly about it, she didn't even hype you up.
Didn't need to. I just went straight for his main criticizer. And I...
You defended me.
Yeah. Defended your honour.
So welcome in, Sam. Make yourself at home. Enjoy the soup. Just
Don't eat it.
Please don't eat it. You got to give it quite a bit of time.
So much time. I'd get something else in the meantime.
Before we go, Jess, is there anything we need to tell people?
That you can suggest a topic in the show notes or also at our website, dogoonpod.com. You can find us at dogoonpod on all social media, and you can contact us at dogoonpod@gmail.com.
And Dave, I think that's all we've
Absolutely
got time
love it.
for.
And I'll just add on to the end of that with suggesting a
Oh,
topic.
okay. I forgot something.
No, I'm just going to
No,
say...
it's fine. Just fucking
Oh,
tell them
here
about
we
the socials
go.
as well, because I probably fucked that
No,
up, didn't
if-
I?
I just
Because
wanted
I'm
to
an idiot.
No, I just want to say, if you're from a part of the world that we don't often report on, I don't think we've ever done an Ethiopian-based story before. You've got a local story or a hero or something, we'd love to know about it. We'd love to expand our horizons. And so, yeah, that would be really cool. Do you think?
I'm not talking to you.
All right, Dave, boot this baby home.
Hey, we'll be back next week with another episode. But until then, also thank you so much and goodbye.
Later.
Bye.
Your money's not good here, baby.